Hello, everybody, and welcome to the ESL Challenger League Season 48, where we are ready to send our second team through to the ESL Pro League. It's the consolidation final, and it's a matchup between NRG and Legacy, and only one of these teams can claim that final spot in Season 21 of the ESL Pro League.
Yeah, no, it's going to be quite a bloodbath, I would say. I think there's a little bit of an asterisk that we just heard about, by the way, and that's that Nitro may not be playing for a brief period of time, perhaps even the whole time, because of a family emergency, which is really unfortunate for it to happen at this moment when they have a chance to make Pro League, because Mike, he's been their best player in all three, in fact, of their BO3 wins. Oh,
we're good.
Are we?
Note from the admin from Mr. Oso Nitro is in game, still playing just for them to play with a regular roster, I assume.
Beautiful.
So it seems like whatever the issue was fortunately resolved.
Nice.
Which is all good.
Yes.
Never want anyone to be dealing with any type of situation. So that makes life a lot better for NRG.
Yes, and then my point is in a positive note then, because Nitro has been the best fragger, the top fragger in all of their wins. Every single one. He has been the guy to look towards on the squad, and he's also been calling up a storm.
Now let's take a look at the bracket to see how we got to this point. These two teams were on opposite sides of the bracket, so this is their first meeting of the playoffs. They did meet in the regular season. That one went to Legacy, both maps, a 2-0, I believe, for the Brazilian squad. So NRG definitely have their work cut out for them, but they've frankly been looking a lot more dialed in these playoffs than we've seen them of late. They are looking on point, and they're looking for a rematch for a bit of revenge on the M80 team that sent them down the lowers.
It's definitely going to be an interesting rematch if we get it, but I think both teams want to get that rematch. Like I think you're alluding to, Mike. It's just going to be interesting to see who ends up getting there. I think both teams are pretty evenly balanced right now, even though in the regular season, Legacy did get a 2-0 against NRG. I feel like that's not necessarily as relevant because NRG feel like they've leveled up throughout these playoffs.
It does. But if you look at the, shall we say, the legacy of these two teams in the head-to-head, it isn't just that regular season matchup, right? They bested them in that regular season. They bested them in their last BO3. That was at the end of September in the ESL Challenger Cut of Veto qualifiers. That's what sent Legacy through to the event, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
They bested them in the RMR qualifiers as well. So this has been a consistent history of Legacy toppling NRG, so it's definitely going to require a level up from this NRG team, but that's also the best motivation possible to have a game plan going into it, to have something to upset them.
No, absolutely. I mean, look, I still feel like those results were you're right, Mike. I mean, it was a couple of months ago, I think, for the our RMR. So I don't know if I necessarily look at that one as much, but agreed. Like it has been fairly dominant for Legacy, even though it's not like NRG have been blown out. Like I think the worst loss 13-7, you could argue, is somewhat a blowout. But other than that, they were in every single map. So I feel like if they can play the way they have throughout these playoffs, they will have a very good chance of coming out with a win here, which, well, once you guys see my pick, you'll be like, why were you defending NRG? But anyway.
We've kind of swapped roles on this. We both predicted the other way around. We can just spoil that. We'll talk about our player to watch, though. I've gone for somebody over from that Legacy camp. We were talking about Duma last time. Let's talk about Lato. This dude's been a revelation in this iteration of the roster. He sort of had moments in the spotlight, taking back seats on some of the roles at times in versions of this core dating back, back into the Godsent days. But in this one, he's the star. He's shining like a star. He and Dumel are really the premium rifling firepower pieces, and they're rewarding Legacy for putting the faith in them.
Yeah, and nothing's changed in these playoffs, right? They're both two of the. I'd say Lato slipped to third in terms of rating, but he's still it barely, it's by 0.01, so I wouldn't really count that at all.
You'll take a triple-headed monster, won't you?
Exactly, no questions asked. Lato and Dumel, though, have been that duo that's been dominating consistently. 101 frags for Lato, a firepower rating of 80, and he's really getting a ton of opening frags as well, getting that space for his squad. So for me, definitely a player to keep an eye on, and I think he'll have a big impact here tonight.
I think he will. I think that's a reasonable guess to have on Ian. Let's take a look at the vetoes to see what maps we're going to be playing. Obviously, we've got a fair track record between these two teams. NRG have been loving the Anubis, so they'll go towards that. Legacy, no surprise. They do love a bit of Ancient. And Inferno as the decider. What do you think about this veto here, John?
Well, I mean, it should be interesting. I think we get two of their best maps for both sides, which I think NRG might be the better one on Anubis, which is why they're picking into that. Ancient could be the other way around because we've seen vulnerabilities on Ancient for NRG on a few occasions, although yesterday they did well. So I can't necessarily argue against that 13-4 win that happened. And then going on to Inferno is I wouldn't maybe even say that's a Legacy lean. This might be a Legacy lean veto.
I mean, even if we're looking at that Anubis, reminder, Legacy bested M80 on that map just a day ago. So that's an exciting one for them. M80, a very good Anubis team. That's a big feather in the cap. And they beat NRG on their last go against this roster on that map. So this is not easy for NRG. I don't think there was going to be a path that was easy. The strengths overlap too much. So it's definitely an underdog and a favorite type of situation, and it's on NRG to level it up. But I think they're going to be able to. This was before the Nitro news. I don't know how much that might be or not impacting. No real information there. But I do think NRG is going to be able to do it this time, and here's why. I think they need this. They have to have this. The importance for them, obviously, a Pro League spot is important for Legacy as an organization. It would be great. But for NRG, it's the only light that they can place at the end of the tunnel right now. They haven't been able to qualify to events. They haven't been able to attend lands. They haven't been able to qualify for the RMR. There's just not a lot to look forward to for this roster. And Pro League, that would be massive. That would be so very important to this team, not just for themselves as players to give them something to fight for in that new year, but frankly to justify it to the org, to say, look, guys, we have something where we're going to be able to justify your faith in us, where we're going to be able to rep NRG on LAN in a tier 1 event.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it could be the end maybe of them. I don't know what's going to happen if they don't make it to Pro League. It's going to be tough to justify keeping them, like you said, Mike. I'm going to have to flip the other way, though, because I'm picking Legacy. I feel like they're going to be able to hold on to this just because of their history. They've been so strong up against NRG. They impressed me against M80 despite losing there. And when you're doing well against the top dog, the favorite to win it all here in Challenger League, it's hard to go against that, honestly. To me, and of course, I call M80 the top dog, but technically, let's not forget, Legacy were the top seed in the regular season, number 1, 22-4, so, or 23-4, I think it was. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter what the number was. They were at the top, and for me, I think they're going to be able to close this one out.
Yeah, this has been a ferocious Legacy team. It really has. They're headed into Challenger Katowice next week, and I am very excited to see what they're going to do, because that is a very stacked event. So taking a win here, securing that Pro League spot, having that pressure off of you at ESL Challenger Katowice, because that's another spot that's on the line, that would be a massive get. That would be a real massive get here for Legacy, and it would allow them to play freer in a group that's going to include 2 other Brazilian squads at MIBR and Pain. So I think there's going to be a lot to prove for Legacy. This would be a huge momentum builder headed into that, and then headed into the RMR as well. We're hopping in. We got Anubis. This is our tone setter. For NRG, this is a must win. I'll paint that very plainly. You do not want to be a map down headed into that Ancient, even if NRG have started to really like that Ancient.
Yeah, and I mean, you see the last 2 wins for Wildcard up against Boston. Sorry, for NRG. Well, we'll get back to it after.
We're in the action. Forget about it, John.
Yeah. And it's back and
into
forth.
the shooting. It's down to a 2v2. Bomb's not planted yet. Bomb's also down on the dirt, so that needs to be recovered. Lato will be able to do that, and they're out of there. The Caper has succeeded. It's a rotation from both squads, both duos. Rocket on in. NRG have anticipated this very quickly. Here comes the swing. Lato the point man. OC waiting for contact with that camera player. Oh my goodness, that camera player is deleted. What a shot for Sadzin. It comes down to the 1v1 clutch. OC doesn't have armor, and he's already tagged down to 28 HP. He, I think, will have heard the footsteps of the player rotating off.
I don't know.
But he's going to opt to chase him instead of rotating back through mid. So OC, knowing that he's low, knowing that a protracted engagement with the Glock is not what he wants without armor right now, he's going to opt to maybe catch that element of surprise. With no kit, he's got to get a move on. Creeping closer here. Creeping closer. Lato has opted to tuck in towards Glyph. So the question is, does OC read this right? Does he check it? Going to be wary of B main, presumably, as well. So the bomb's not planted for it. So yes, he has the right idea. There's the swing. It's all about the headshot, and he can't find it. Going to the knife here. One more bullet needed, but no. The knife came out a little early, and there should be just enough time to get this defused. Oh, it's close. It's so close. He's got it!
Wow. OC, 1 singular point of HP is all he needs. A little bit of a labored engagement, honestly. That we saw there between both players, but OC manages to outlast his opponent, and NRG get the first on the board. An important first, because you're on your CT side, and you want to try and get as many rounds as early as possible. And Legacy with that bomb plant are going to buy up here. Wow, that was very, very back and forth. And I wanted to talk about it before, but now that we have a moment, 5 wins in a row here on Anubis for Legacy against NRG, twice against Lag, and once against M80. That's the big one. And for NRG, they beat Wildcard and Boss, but lost to M80. Legacy, of course, then M80 again. So the 2 wins over the last 5. We'll see if that trend continues for both squads. Automatic going to get the opener they'll want to do Mao. And now, He's going to swing around, find himself a second. Pretty clean so far. They're trying to get the bomb planted. Legacy won't be able to. They won't be able to. Lato's trapped in the smoke. He's got the bomb on his back. Automatic and Breeze are looking for him. Where could he be? He's bumping around against the NRG players, and finally Automatic ends it 3K for him, 2-0 NRG.
It was an ugly one for Legacy. Not going to love how that one turned out, obviously, but if you're NRG, it couldn't have gone better. Clean as money made, cash rolling, and Legacy on the pistols with the lack of a bomb plant there. Dumao gets the deagle, so there is... Never mind, he sells it. That's probably the prudent decision, but it is the boring one. They go for a nade stack instead. Lato gets the deagle. So there's still some deaglage. It'll be the hands of Lato instead of the Dumao D. Oh my goodness, that's a good nade. And then Automatic actually slips past theirs, spamming these players down. A nice flashbang from OC to make it oh so easy for Automatic.
Wow, Automatic, look, that first nade that he threw softened up his targets anyway, so it makes it a lot easier, especially when you're rocking with the FAMAS up mid. So he gets 3, and then, of course, OC helping out for that last to give him the 4K. Look at that flashbang. Nothing Lato could see. Had to stop in his tracks because he didn't know where he was going or what he was looking at. And NRG, 3-0 over Legacy at this point, but it's just the pistol round and the 2-round conversions. Now is when we'll see the true test come through. AKs across the board for Legacy. As we go into round 4, Hext waiting over here at E-Box, and another good nade comes through in the early round. Barton and Sadzine on the receiving end there, and then a follow-up. My goodness, these are mortar strikes, Mike.
Utility on point. Makes life a lot easier when the actual engagement comes in. Love some handy artillery if you're in the NRG trenches.
Bit of a trade here. OC wants that upgrade to the AK. Sadzine's so low. OC's thinking about swinging this. Maybe he'll just hold the angle. There's the shadow. Got one. And the second. OC rocking it with the rifle now. Looking for the third, and he gets that too.
My.
A 3-piece for OC. Lato, the last one standing. Our player to watch. Let's see if he can give us something that'll impress the crowd.
The crowd being you and I, John.
Yes, that's us.
Can we be impressed? Oh, no, not so much. Very labored spray from both parties. More excusable when you have the FAMAS in your hands. OC with the rifle. Man, OC, he's a rifler. He's a great operator, but the rifling has always been a key element of his game. You'll see him often on T-sides as well. Just forgo that op in favor of the faster play of the rifle. It harkens back to like the extra salt day, I feel like, is when he first developed that habit. And he certainly is capable with the AK in hand.
Yeah, no, going back to the extra salt days is what I think about OC and that rifle and op combination where he had actually more rifle frags than he did op frags. He was so very good, and that's what brought him onto that tier 1 journey. Now he's back here, though, trying to get back to that point, and maybe he will. Look, I mean, if NRG wins here, they're going to play a Pro League, and that'll be a chance to prove themselves further. And so far, fantastic here on Anubis. I mean, Legacy have not threatened at all. Only 4 frags combined amongst them. And OC, he's hungry for more, charging right out, and he gets punished for that little journey where he's going to get 1, and then he gets stinked. In fact, no, it was his teammate that got stinked. He gets taken out by the Tech 9, so Hex limps away, and this is a 4v3 with guns dropped outside of B main. Legacy could venture out there and grab them.
This gets very dangerous indeed. Automatic, trying to whittle down the numbers, knowing that this is an issue. He lines them up, blinded, still gets 2. Might have given his teammates a little bit of a breather here. They should know Hex could be close at hand. The Nitro is fast rotating in to try and support his teammate. And just to slip away for the moment, staying alive, but now the healthy player goes down. It has to be Hex. They've got armor, and they've got rifles, and they've got Lato on the angle.
That is That is not the round you should be losing if you're NRG. I mean, look, Legacy walked in with pistols only and a little bit overzealous here, right? OC just charges out, gets headshotted instantly, and then Breeze goes down as well as a Hex Dink. That Tech 9 did so much damage, and afterwards, I mean, they got the rifles off the ground and they cleaned up the rest of the bodies. So Legacy get a huge boost not only to their confidence but also their economy, as they're going to have a couple, make that 3 AKs, an M4 and an AWP. The same on the other side for NRG, that being M4s and an AWP. But, that is a round that NRG certainly let slip away. Understand the aggression, of course. It is Anubis. You want to get active there on that CT side, but up against pistols is always a bit of a risk.
Timely smoke outside of the cave. Need to tip them off. Do they want to risk this smoke? 2 players bunched up. Presence in B main. Bomb rotating through spawn. Does seem to indicate this is the end goal for Legacy. There's no mid presence out from NRG. There are 3 players in towards B. Mid is being held by Nitro very passively through camera. So they got the numbers in the right place for this B hold. They don't have a lot of utility remaining. It's just flashes. Here comes the hit. First kill, so critical. Hex manages to snap around, so that last smoke was so very well used. Hex down for the count, but he's done his job. And they don't know about automatic, but he won't be able to do anything with the element of surprise. Molly, too late. Not deep enough to deny that bomb plant. Now both players out towards Glyph. Does OC expect a second? He does indeed. Gets the spot. Gets the shot.
Wow.
OC sharp. Time aplenty for this defuse.
That's unbelievable. OC's stepping up to the plate for his squad. Automatic is as well, but that was a beautiful 1v2 clutch coming through. Expected the second player, which isn't always easy in that type of situation, in the same angle, and, well, pulls it off beautifully. And we see a little bit there, a little bit of a freeze. That's okay. But a 5th round found for NRG. That's the important part after losing the anti-eco, to get that follow-up and, you know, build up your lead even further, especially on the CT side. Fantastic. Looking on Legacy, though, they will have a buy-up. You might be asking, well, how? You know, they just won that eco. Well, that's why. Because that eco gave them a boost to their economy, and they upgraded for free. And now, well, they're going to have AKs across the board and still a bit of money left in the bank to work with. There is a Galil in the mix. I take that back. But still, it's a solid buy-up. They're just going to go in. They're just going to fight it. Mike X isn't expecting this at all. He's gone. Barton gets traded by Breeze, but Breeze is by his lonesome. He's waiting for reinforcements. They've been mollied out. Legacy finally filtering in. That Molotov will make life difficult for Breeze, but he still managed to get a frag before he goes down. That helps so much. Automatic with 2 as well. And Sad Scene's in a 3v1. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it looked good for a moment.
Yeah.
It looked good for a moment. The critical kills all fade the way of NRG. Now Sadzine trying to recover that C4. Wary that a flank could have developed as well, right? He's got a minute, so he's still got options. He could just leave. He's clearing, anticipating that he might have an isolated fight back here, but if he goes deep enough, no, he's coming back to it. They haven't flinched. NRG haven't even counted the possibility that he might have slipped away, and that means there are too many crosshairs locked on in. Elbow wide automatic. Losing track of himself on that angle means that it is just going to be OC who can do anything about this. And a smoke down to guys off his vision. Nade pop too late. Sadzine gets the bomb plant. Huge coup already considering the circumstance. Now can he win the thing? Slipping into his own smoke. Back towards Pizza. And out B main. Strong position now, but if they just smoke him off and smoke the bomb, he might just get on the defuse. So how well does he know his lineups?
They have another smoke.
Next question. When do they feel confident that he slipped out B main?
I'd say right about now.
Wow, they don't have a choice now. They've got to get on that stick. Smoke on, covering off the bomb. He doesn't have the lineup. No! He doesn't at all. OC manages to steal that one away. Sadzine, such good work, but he couldn't quite close the clutch.
That was so close, honestly, and I'm impressed that he's even able to get it down to a 1v1 with a post-plant situation in the first place. He does survive the engagement and helps bolster his team's economy enough, I think, for a buy-up here, given that there was a little bit of change left in the bank for them. And yeah, there you go. It's a full buy. 4 AK on the op, thanks to that boost of $600 from the bomb plant. And of course, you know, a drop coming through from Sadzine. So well done. It's unfortunate for him that now he's still staring down at a 5-round deficit and he couldn't cut into that lead for his squad. Automatic. Throw this injury down. Oh, he must hear these footsteps now. Yeah, now knows the bullets are coming up close. He tries to get away but can't. Nikis gets one. Great trade from Nitro. He's been quiet so far, but he can't get the 2K, Mike.
They're very locked out of A. Legacy doesn't know this, but they had a massive opportunity to exploit. OC, firing at the long player. Nearly gives it up without a kill. Gets at least one. That's going to coast Hex back into this fight. Jumper's alongside him, trying to deny that bomb plan. Chases Lato off of it, buys precious time. 55 seconds. So there's still plenty of clock, and that's a great kill. Breeze, what do you got for us? What kind of heroics? Not enough.
Well, Legacy doing a great job. They're just overloading the B site. Honestly, I thought Nitro... A lot of trades came through early on, right? I thought Nitro had the opportunity to second. I feel like yesterday he was getting those frags. So far today, not happening just yet. Maybe he'll find his rhythm soon. I mean, it's still a 6-2 NRG lead, which is fantastic. And it's good to see that despite the fact that Nitro's not fragging out this time, that they're able to build this up regardless. And timeout going to be called by Legacy because they do need to talk things over. I think they need to change their look a little bit. I mean, yes, it worked out for B that time, but I don't know how many times they've gone to A. Maybe once, if that. They've been locked into that B site repeatedly, and NRG's rebuffed them the majority of the time. And it got close there still, despite them winning.
Five sevens, MP9s, 1A1S. Scrappy is the least of it. Engagement here in the cave.
Yeah.
Again, NRG have left mid completely vacant. It's automatic with an MP9 to hold it at range, and even then he pulls off to Mao. This is the engagement. Mao slips away. This time Legacy's going to test. They haven't done so much of this, but Nikis has found a gap and has found no resistance, and now he's got Sadzine along with him. Triple clear back in. Well, what Nikis exactly?
Yeah, I don't know either. Was he trying to hide his gun?
But he is going to die. Sadzine's able to trade that out. That was very awkward. It looked like he was looking at his teammate when he was talking to him, which is, if that's the case, hilarious.
Yeah.
Martin, gonna get overwhelmed. That's a gun now picked up, and the bomb has to cross this angle. They stick on it. This is big trouble. They're gonna go carpet. Dumel walks out, catches automatic, looking the wrong way. Now they'll try and link up. It was a save attempt, but a lot to lurk, and it is all good. We'll give Nikis a pass because they win the round, and it happens. But that did look a little funny. Don't know what happened.
I don't know either. Like, yeah, he was looking at his team. Maybe you're right, Mike. You're just trying to talk to him and look at him at the same time out of reflex, like it's real life or something. Who the heck knows? I thought maybe he's trying to get his gun at a certain angle so it's not seen, but that doesn't make sense either because it wasn't really in a position where that would have even mattered. So, I don't know. We'll have to chalk that one up to a mystery as we move forward here. In round 10, Molotov gets tossed towards Pillar. It is a full save for NRG. Just the USPs. Hex is already gone at Pillar. Flashbang comes out. A little flying Lato, and maybe a frag comes. Nope. Breeze and OC get melted away, and not a single body will fall for Legacy.
So the question is, can NRG squeeze anything out of these last 2 rounds, right?
Yeah.
Because we know that T side of Anubis does have a lot of power in store. Oh, fast through mid? No, the drop down from Zine, and actually Nikis knows his lineups. But Zine's able to be traded out, so it's not a zap yet. Now Breeze an advantage.
Wow,
Hex can follow it up. It's just a 2-on-4. And someone's got to go back for the bomb.
That was a beautiful setup from Hex. I have to talk about it right away because... Oh, maybe not. OC is going to engage Nikis, who only gets 1, and he's traded. Dumao, the last one standing. Now a chance to talk. Yeah, he self-flashed himself. Just a right-click lob. Gets a full flash kill on the first one, and then gains so much control at mid that the player who's in that little cubby gets trapped and can't really do much except peek out right into Hex's crosshair, which gives him a 2K and control of the round at that point. And you're going to see Dumao try to pull off a 1v3 that Zine was close to previously, Mike.
Look at how far out Hexed is, right? He's in the spawn. He's got this information. That's why they're confident putting 2 players on this site. Breeze going to take contact. Nitro playing off of him. Slipped Breeze just a little bit, but that still sets up Nitro for what isn't even a trade. So 7 rounds found. An advantage here on the CT side of Anubis is a great get for NRG. Can they tack on the 8?
Well, that is the question. Yeah, we're going to see this from Hex again. Just so well done. And if they tack on an 8, that would be a coup indeed. And you see plenty of money still for Legacy. They got a full buy. Pretty much the same for NRG. Nitro's got a gun on the ground for him. There's the AK picked up. 2 AKs will help the defensive side with that one-shot headshot ability. Look at this. Legacy's already into canals. 2 players charging up. They're trying to get the jump on Hex this time if Hex decides to come out from Pillar towards E-Box. Nitro. Oh, Nitro's ahead of this. Dumao expects it. What a shot from Dumao. And then Zine finds Hex. OC manages to get 1 trade, but it's still a man advantage in favor of Legacy. And Barton continues to challenge Breeze. Will he expect another player into E-Box? I don't know. Obviously doesn't realize that Barton's already pushed up here. That's a good angle to play without much information behind this Pillar.
It is a little exposed, but as long as the smoke's up, you got something to work on.
Exactly. And it's gone.
But he's got a supporter as well. Automatic coming over. It does mean that this A site is softened. The contact in here, OC will not be looking the right way. This is why NRG needs some information. They're going for a peek out canals just to try and spot something. And OC not seeing anything on his initial peek in towards mid. Should have alarm bells going off that the A take is a touch more likely. Could catch a player on the flank. Setting up utility. There's the spot. There's the chase. There's the kill. Now they know they've been rumbled. It's all about this A take. OC, can he get anything out of it? Flashbang's great. Kill better. Swing on inside. Zine finds the 1, but does he know? Does he know that Automatic's here? Automatic's opted to try and hope they'll rotate off. They're going to do nothing of the sort, so now Automatic needs to get active. He's staying alive for the moment. And they know, having only seen OC, they're aware of the possibility of this flank as well, so Lato is well trained on this position. Utility to try and rumble him out from back of the cake. Zine perfectly placed on that crosshair. Automatic finds the first, though. Comes out of the one-on-one. Rifle trying to get on towards that bomb. There's the spot going over. Bomb's planted open here. Zine just toying with him. And Automatic's going to go for the stick. Where's the jack? Oh, he's got it in the nick of time. 4 on the board for Zine. 5 for Legacy. We'll be back. Back into this second half, a lead for NRG off of their CT side. That bodes very well indeed. But John, we have seen a trend out from this NRG team. Feels like we've seen some good starts. In the second half, at times, has had issues. So let's see. Let's see what they're going to do.
I mean, yesterday we saw that disappear against the Party Astronauts.
True.
But still, I agree with you. There always is a risk there, it seems. Niki's going to get the opener here onto Nitro. 5v4 in favor of Legacy, and NRG completely deviate towards B. This could work out very well for the Party with the dualies. Doesn't get anything. Yeah, this is fantastic. Now, going to be a post plan here. 4v3. Hex holding the line. Did they see him? No. So he's hiding there. Could do some damage, and he absolutely will. A 2K comes through. Sadzine, the last one standing. 1v3.
Love the design on this pistol round, right? And a nice bit of movement as well to offset the angles of those initial pistol engagements. That's a huge part of it. Movement is as important as crosshair placement when it comes to pistols. And Breeze is going to move right into that kill. So a full house for both the dually players. That's a very nice round for NRG. Well drawn up. Caught Legacy. A little bit confused. Redrew the battle lines. And just giving themselves the advantages in every engagement.
Absolutely. Now, I think for NRG, they actually are really balanced overall in their round distribution, about 50-50 in terms of one rounds on both T side and CT side. But for Legacy, Mike, it's a little more concerning. I would say 60% approximately of the rounds come on T side and only 36% here. Automatic and OC doing damage. Barton gets one, so does Niki's, but it won't matter. This round's already over. 9-5 for NRG. Here's the one that matters.
Does indeed. Matters quite a bit. They don't get it. We might be on Ancient.
We could be. I mean, we definitely will be one way or another. Just a sooner rather than later, right?
We will get to Ancient. I can say that with certainty, folks. Turns out in a best of 3, you play at least 2. Them's the rules of the game. I don't know why I've gone 1920s baseball, but I have.
Why not?
And it's a deep hit from Neckies. Right into mid. Smoke is down. Very timid round from NRG. They seem like they've seen a mouse and they're an elephant. Not trying to stomp on in towards the bomb sites. That reminds me of the war. Mid control being conceded. The op not present for the CT side means there may be some room to rumble this A side defense. Into the angle they go. Try as, but Automatic hits himself a nice headshot. Umau traded, but he's got his 2. Now we gotta lock in. Sadzin could be pinched, but that bomb in mid has to get out of here sooner rather than later. Those A main players, they're timid because of the smoke, but they need to go to give OC some sort of cover. He is at risk. He's the one man they can't have go down. If that bomb gets dropped in camera, they are in trouble. Now Breeze comes into support, and lucky that was a tag and not a frag. Because now the bomb should be planted, and Lato and Barton have some choices to make.
Okay. That makes it for them. Oh, Breeze. Fantastic trade, honestly. 36 HP combined amongst these last 2 players up against 100 for Barton. It doesn't matter. Breeze picks up the AWP and gets the last. A 3K for him. 10 for NRG, and Legacy's bank is broken. That was actually really, really close. I mean, look, Legacy had the opportunity to go in, Mike, and pretty much disrupt that entire take of the A site, but that one smoke that was thrown for Palace delayed them a little bit, and then some fantastic decision-making coming through from NRG. Breeze in particular, 1 on the peak, and 2 to pick up the op and go for what would have been maybe a little bit of a labored spray with low HP. Instead, he just needs 1 shot, and he gets that frag. Well, a lot more one-sided than we expected so far here on Anubis. And they don't even need Nitro to frag out, it seems, to do NRG on this one. Look at that. 15 for OC, Breeze, and Automatic.
You do love to see it if you're an NRG fan.
Yeah.
Even distribution, stars shining across the board. And it's nice as well, right? In a weird way, because, you know, Nitro's having a little bit of a down map individually. And that's been an issue for them in the past when he's not there. Stepping up.
Oh.
You can't always count on your IGL. Just like you can't always count on your anti-ecos. Ooh, that gets very awkward. OC manages to get it done with the block. Look at that, though. Still, they've got the kills. And those are ultimately what matters. Sadzine trying to walk out with a USP. Does he realize Nitro's here? Yep, assassination. Rifle picked up. Don't look now, but this one could stay interesting.
I'm not sure why NRG... Oh, time. That's why. 20 seconds left. They have to go to this site, and that's not the one they want to. Yeah, bomb drop. Hex goes into pillar. What a shot from OC. Under pressure. Now Hex trying to lock down this last one. He's alone, but he tags Sadzine, but can't get it. Sadzine closes it out. 6th round found for Legacy. Again, the anti-ecos for NRG are slipping away. That's the 2nd one in the map.
That's painful. That's really painful. That aggression down mid just rumbled them so much that clock just slipped away. Had to go for the fight in that last engagement. There was just no time to retrieve the C4. And what could have been just an easy step towards victory becomes a big stumble. Now they just have the one hero AK to try and recover here. A couple deegs around it. Anything but comfortable.
I like the boost here.
I like the off angle from Sadzine as well. He's not exposed to it.
Agreed.
Knowing that this is a slow walk angle more often than not. Oh, puts them on the line. It's a leg shot though. And a burst fire from the Glock catches him. Down he goes. They're not in position to trade this, but a teammate actually puts a shot in the back of Nick Hughes' head, so he's a bit softened up. Hex walks out of A main, catches them with back turned. If he had anything with an automatic fire rate on it, that could have been disastrous. But as it is now, Automatic's just dumping guns. Trying to drain some further economy, make sure they can't get their hands on that AWP.
Sadzine can buy it in the next round anyway, but yeah, it's definitely a 4750 that they won't be able to save in that previous round. Hey, Automatic got an AK. So maybe this is still possible. It feels exceptionally unlikely.
No armor.
Yeah. Round done. NRG. Not much expected in that round, given that it was an eco, and now they will be able to buy up once more. And Legacy, as we talked about, do have to invest a little more heavily than they would like to, because that op can be recovered, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. They're back into this one, effectively, with the 7th round picked up. Still, it is a 3-round lead for NRG, and they are on their T side to close things out. Or try to.
What are the words of daps in their ears right now? What's the adjustment? I think... Oh, it might be Legacy with B aggression. Sadzine's going for the peak, thinking about it at the very least, on the edge of this smoke with that AWP. He's edging it. He's edging it. But spotting nothing. He does not want to take that a step further.
Yeah, and NRG are going to slow the pace down considerably here. Maybe that was what they discussed. Just take it easy, guys. Let them walk into your crosshairs. Wait for the opportunities to come to you. Legacy, they're not giving them anything now. They're really slowing it down, as they are apt to do, of course. 1 minute on the clock, still plenty of time for NRG to work with, but they got to get that bomb on their backs again and decide where they ultimately want to go. Feels like they could get caught in canals here. Need to be careful. Sadzine with the AWP. Edging around that corner. Hits the shot.
There's that first. Took a while to set up that utility. Now players stuck in towards canals, and it's just this B main thrust. 25 seconds, John. They can't bail out. Hex, though, doing something distracting, drawing attention towards himself. This double clear in. It might give them a chance to get outside of B main, but they need these kills. They need these kills because the retake's going to be on before they know it. 12 seconds. I mean, it's desperation at this point, and it's extermination at the hands of Legacy.
That is a tough one, honestly, and we'll see how NRG reply here, because they would not be in this situation if they didn't let the Antico slip away. They recovered in that first half, right? They lost the Antico, then immediately won the follow-up round and really did a good job of closing out well. But here, it's resulted in 3 in a row for Legacy. Could be a 4th here, likely a 4th, unless they can pull off some eco magic of their own, but it's not that great. And it feels like the guns have fallen silent, and now we don't have Nitro, you know, kind of stepping up to the plate to help his team, at least not in this map so far. Maybe he'll deliver something in the latter stages to help guide them to victory. But Barton waiting here. Oh, Lato actually gets tagged down to 26, but Barton is able to take down Breeze, and Automatic couldn't get in there in time to try and get a trade. And there's that smoke coming through as well. So, I mean, look how scattered they are. Yes, that team picking off OC. The spacing just is not great for NRG.
I think they need Hex, Steagle to basically use something out of Cave, and it's a tough fight to take. Quick headshot on Lato might just give them the chance to do something with this round, but even then, there's 2 more in towards the site, so feeling like an impossibility. And yeah, Lato will not fumble that engagement, so now they should be just about locked out. Rushing dying in these next 40 seconds, trying to find some sort of impact on it. So far, this map has been a tale of the defense. They say it wins championships. Might just win a Pro League spot.
Indeed. Surprising, to say the least, that we're getting this defensive display on this map of Anubis. But now, well, let's talk about that T side and who needs to show up for NRG. I'd say Hex and Automatic are the ones to look towards. They've been taking the majority of the opening engagements throughout these playoffs. I think 44 or 45.1% of the engagements have been theirs in opening fights, and Hex leads the charge at a 1.15 rating. So, I mean, maybe send him out and try to get something done. Make sure he's first contact, as he's so very good at that. And a Molotov sails through from Legacy here after that smoke is tossed by NRG. Oh no, Hex, why is Hex losing? That's so strange. He's usually one to take those opening duels. Anyway, Breeze is going to find one onto Lato, and this still could work out for NRG as they find a 2K.
They do indeed. Bomb on down now. So Mal clears out the first, though. This allows them to consider the retake. Right, this gives them a possibility. Also, their bank accounts help out with that. Nitro, though, eliminating that B main presence. Now this is a very unappetizing fight. Nade does find kill, but so do the bullets out of Automatic's gun. It all falls to Sadzine. A desperate stick. A tag on. And if he can find his bomb, there it is. Line up for Nitro is good enough.
Ooh. Got a little scary, though, for NRG. Nitro, his first 2K so far in the map, which is not something we were saying for the previous 3 that they won. He's been able to get those on a consistent basis. Maybe that'll be his awakening here in this series. Either way, it's NRG finding an 11th, which is important for them because it felt like things were kind of slipping away. The problem now is the money isn't the greatest, so they have to settle for a Mac 10 and the Galil on their side, but they still have a very healthy amount of utility, so they'll be okay in that department. I would argue that's the important part anyway. Hex going out with Nitro. Now Hex is going to be the tip of the spear towards A main. One thing for Legacy is I feel like they got too focused in on Hex towards Canals, dedicated 2 players to that fight, and that's what allowed NRG to slip into A. And of course, Breeze with 2 ridiculous entries doesn't hurt. As we go on here to round 21, Sadzine holding the angle with the AWP into A main. He's got support from his rifler Dumao.
Bank, get the pass to Sadzine, forced back, but he's still gonna collect. Goes right on the pillar. Right on the shot. Breeze won, but he burns alive to get that trade. A jump through the smoke, and Sadzine is just not done. Continues to feast here. A nade to set him up. That was ambitious. Oh, no. Comes down to the 2v2, but it's just a low health automatic now. Pick up the off to make this possible, but he won't pick up the kills. Lato finishes what Sadzine started. A brilliant round from the Opera at the fountain. He was just raining down bullets.
Honestly, that was a fantastic maneuver around Fountain Pillar for Sadzine. Oh, we're not going to see it again. What a shame, because it was really some beautiful movement, which allowed him to reposition after the flashbang and ensure that he'd get that opening frag. And afterwards, he even gets 2 more by maneuvering around further towards Cake. And timeout going to be called by NRG because they got reset. Their economy's done. And you get daps in their ear and figure out what the heck to do to solve this Legacy defense, which is stymieing them as much as their defense stymied Legacy. Got close there. I mean, there were a lot of trades going back and forth, and I mean, that 2v2 easily could have gone either way. It's just a nice job by the Rifler in support of the op. Getting that trade, Mike. It's going to be a light buy coming through from NRG. You have 3 Tech 9s, 2 P250s, and 3 pieces of util. So a couple of smokes and a flash. We'll see how they deploy that. NRG haven't really gone for a fast take that much at all on their T side, which they were mixing into their strategies. We saw that against, I think it was M80, and even in their early BO3 against Party Astronauts at the beginning of the playoffs. But this has been more of the slower look we're used to from Nitro. And there comes the first from Nick. He's Nitro with the trade. There we go. That could help. Space opened up mid. Legacy maybe going to get caught looking the wrong way or rotating the wrong way. Barton's alone on the site. Gets 1. They know where he is. Breeze managed to slip past. Goes around. Doesn't get anything, but OC will get that. That's a bomb plant and some guns available on the ground.
Still a long shot away from making this around. No armor on OC. He hasn't been able to retrieve a weapon just yet either. Gonna slip in towards the temple smoke. Knows he has to do something ambitious. Could he go for the long flank? That feels like too much time required. And yeah, as this retake is on, he's got to make a move. Nitro's overwhelmed. OC out this smoke. What's he gonna get? 2 players lined up. They spot him. So only 1 kill available. We are all knotted up. They keep it expensive though. Which is not ideal for Legacy. But we are all tied up. 11-all.
Yeah, we're going the full 24 here. Depends on if we're going to see OT or a win in regulation here. A 13-11 would do it. Who will get that edge? As you mentioned, important damage done by OC. If OC has anything other than a Tech 9 in that situation, I think he gets, I should say a rifle, any rifle in that situation. He'll probably get 2 and maybe even clutch it out. But Tech 9, no armor. That's no dice. Here we go. AKs across the board for NRG. They are finally going to send it fast. Let's see if it works out. Hex can't get it, but OC there for the trade. Lato right on back at them. 4v3 in favor of Legacy. They got the bodies here. Breeze managed to crack open 1 skull, but Nikis does him the same favor right on back. Sadzine waiting behind the smoke as well. This isn't looking that great for NRG, but they do manage to fade off, Mike, which means the A site is free and clear for the taking. They just have to get that bomb there sooner rather than later. I think the only reason that automatic's not running is he doesn't want them to hear him go towards the A site. Eventually, he's going to pick up pace once he's in the clear, and there we go. Still not on the site, and that means Legacy has the chance to rotate over.
They do. He was wary of the window peak, though, right? If he gets caught on the window peak, then it's all over. That was the moment of caution. Bomb is going to go down now. AK's up. Nitro coming for the same main engagement. 2 players waiting for him on the other side. This is everything. He's just going to take it. Flashbang to set him up. 1-for-1. Damage onto Dumao. And an indicator that it's 1 player, not 2, coming from that direction. So automatic. Slides into heaven to try and catch off Nikki's. Nikki's with the check. Where do they think this player is? They're eliminating possibilities. And Nikki's has the right idea and the right spray at that. Map point found. It's legacy to strike first. 1 more required to close out their opponent's map pick.
Unbelievable. That's a beautiful retake coming through. I appreciate the gusto from Nitro to go up for that peak, right? And try to get it done. It was a good flashbang, and he almost manages to convert it. It's just that second player was too quick. A nice little flick that comes through, and Nitro just cannot get it done. And after that, automatic, just unable to really get a good position, I would say. It might have been better just to stay in heaven rather than tuck all the way back towards CT spawn, but I mean, it's easy to say that as we're watching, right? In the moment, it felt like to him it was the right idea, and Nikki's was just watching it the whole way. So 12-11. NRG need this just to push OT. Again, it's the 3-headed monster of Dumao, Sadzine, and Lato at the top of the board.
Yeah. Going against the 3-headed monster of OC Breeze and Automatic.
Yes.
On the NRG side. Does feel like we're doing things in 3s right now. It's actually very parallel between the scoreboards. Don't know what that counts for, but it is kind of fun to see. I guess you were thinking about a little poke out A main, but not being given the engagement. They're going to leave Sadzine posted up and shift around instead. Trying to emphasize this B side. NRG has given them nothing early. Likewise, NRG doesn't have a lot to work with. John's logging that one away for his next matchmaking game.
Oh, goodness. What a pop flash.
And now we're going to see the bomb get retrieved, so we'll find out what NRG does in fact want to do. So nothing easy to light their way. But presence through mid could be key. That's just automatic. Breeze keeping their options open towards the B site. And the bulk of the presence prepping to go into A main. Everybody's here, though. Automatic, isolated, dropped down. This triple peek in towards mid is devastating, but they know they're off the spot now. They got to make their move. They've lost Breeze on the other side of the map. It's all falling apart here for NRG. Damage, but no kill, but it's Sadzine to collect, and now Neki's back into the fight, back into the fray, denies the bomb plant, denies the map. Legacy have got Anubis. They've locked that down in their back pocket. Now they are 1 away from the ESL Pro League.
Well, I can sum this one up pretty quickly for you, Mike. 10-5, you've got the lead in anti-eco. Everything's looking brilliant for you, and then you lose the anti-eco for the second time in the map. And that is when everything just slips right through NRG's fingers. After that point, they only win 1 round versus 7. I should say 8 even for Legacy. Unbelievable. That is so very unfortunate. And another thing that's unfortunate is the trend of if Nitro is not top fragging, they're losing maps continues here.
Does indeed. Does indeed. And we'll check in with our player to watch because he had a dang good game. Our Kadia player to watch is, of course, Lato. His numbers were quite ferocious. It was that 3-headed monster. We could have picked any of Dumao, Sadzine, or Lato.
Yes.
And those numbers would have been pretty dang good. But his were peachy keen indeed. So we'll pop those up in a moment. Look, Legacy are a ferocious team right now.
They are.
You can't count them out. You can't count them out of any individual round. They've got a lot of prowess. They're fearless. They're that combination of patient and fearless that's very tough to deal with because they will wait you out and they will also walk a smoke. And good luck picking which they're doing in which moment.
And I also appreciate the lack of hesitation in their decision making, right? Like, especially on their T side, when they're rotating, they're going, they're not stopping. And you saw in the pistol round, they went 1, 2, 3 times rotating back and forth. They ended up losing that T side pistol round, but still, it's a trend that continued for them throughout the entirety of the map. And you got to appreciate, the fact that these guys are going out there and they've got confidence in all of their decision making.
They certainly do. They certainly do. They're working as a unit. They're gelling very nicely. And that might just lead them into the ESL Pro League. We're going to find out if they will make it. One more map required. Ancient home turf for Legacy. We'll find out when we come back from this break. And we are back in here for the second map of play between Legacy and NRG. Legacy strike first. They've got the 1-0. And in case you're wondering, folks, this is in fact a best of 3, which means Legacy onto their own map pick of Ancient just need to secure it here. And they are into the ESL Pro League. They're into the grand final of this season of Challenger League as well. That's a lot on the line here, John, at NRG with their backs against the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. And on a map that is kind of been up and down for them. Yes, they had a convincing win against the Party Astronauts yesterday, 13-4. But outside of that, it's been either some really one-sided losses or a close overtime win up against the Party Astronauts previously, right? And I don't know, Mike. I honestly don't feel good about this for NRG because you talked about it already. Map 1 was kind of a must-win if they had a chance in this series. And Map 2 just feels like such a mystery on their side. Yes, you look at M80 beating Legacy 13-11 on their previous engagement. Before that, they won 6 or make that 5 in a row, including a 13-0 against M80. So for me, this is again going to be another very tough map for NRG.
It certainly is. It certainly is. And when we look at this, it's also just a situation where you look at the teams that they've beat versus the teams they've lost to on Ancient. Twice to Legacy since the end of August, lost to Nouns, lost to M80, lost to just a lot of different squads that we would consider upper echelon North American teams. Even against teams that they should be handily beating in the BO3, Ancient has frequently been a weakness here for NRG. So it just doesn't bode well. Meanwhile, for Legacy, home turf. They love to play it. It's one of their higher win percentages. They play a lot of it. They like to pick into it. It's good. It's good. It is their most played map in the last 3 months, and they will confidently pick it against just about anybody in the world.
Yeah. I mean, they bodied Wildcard, NRG, M80, and Nouns on this map. All top 5 teams in this season of ECL. So, yeah, it's just not an easy task for NRG. Not to say it's not possible for them. Absolutely it is. But they need a little bit more. Ooh, that's a good start.
That starts.
Shot.
3 players in towards the middle here. There is a flash to set this up. Or a P250 also works. Spartan traded up. I don't know what Nick Hughes is holding all this utility for, but he is holding it and not finding the elbow. They don't really want to go further out. So they've got 2 smokes, a flashbang, and a Molotov. That is a lot to work with. What they don't have is armor. So it seems like they're going to set up a B exec from back here behind the doors. Here comes that first smoke. Here comes that second. Automatic can shut this whole thing down before they get anywhere. Won't be able to do so, but that is the tip-off. All 3 players spotted. Brings the cavalry on in. Nekis will secure the bomb plant. But Sadzin lost. This retake is going to be hard to defend. Lotto, death by 1,000 paper cuts. 7 HP, though. It's enough to get him another and now get him some dualies.
Really?
And the cave position, and Lotto might just do it all himself. They were missing that critical final paper cut. And now OC, he does have the kit, but he has no idea where Nekis is. Might know now, but look at the tag. Damn it, those dualies. 1 bullet required, and Nekis will deliver it.
There's no way. Lotto, that's absurd. I mean, 7 HP left. Not only does he get the first with the Glock chasing it down, then he picks up the dualies and finds the follow-up. That's an absurd individual play coming through from him and gives Legacy a 1-0 lead that honestly should have been NRG's. It felt like it was theirs. Oh my goodness. How many rounds are we going to get like that for NRG, right? It's the 3rd one, I would say, that happened so far in this series where they had that clear advantage and it just doesn't come through. On a pistol round, it's a little more forgivable, I would say, because, you know, those pistols can be very easily overcome. But Lotto trying to do more here. Won't do it in Nitro. Okay. Didn't see much of him on the previous map, but he's trying to change that here on Ancient, Mike.
They could use it. They could use it very much so. Could use a round like this to bolster the confidence early. I should rumble by that Molotov, but there's no one who's actually going to peek behind it, so plenty of time to slip away. Is this bomb going to make a solo move out on towards B? No, just holding on to the corner for now, but this is a risk. Barton coming in to reinforce. Taking some liberties with this bomb. Dumo coming to link up as well. So they will move as a unit. One out of them. That first kill's huge. Second as well. Found on in. Lack of head armor. Leads to the aim punch. An automatic out of play. Breeze. A desperation play. He'll find the first. Has the kit. Has the gun now. Has a lot of value on the first. Molotov rumbles one, but it's a CT molly, so it does not spread to Sudzin. Now the spam might just be enough. Sadzin's going to be further along than he expects. Doesn't even need more bullets than just to scare him off the angle. It is Legacy.
Wow. Close, at the very least. And I thought when Nitro gets those first two that it might have led to something more, but the Force Buy doesn't give enough from the rest of the NRG squad, and Legacy do get that 2-0 lead. I really feel like the Incendiary needs a buff. It doesn't necessarily have to be as significant of a spread as the Molotov, but right now it just feels kind of worthless in a lot of situations, right? That was a really well-thrown Incendiary. It's just that it doesn't spread that little bit more to disrupt things for the T, so honestly, it makes a lot of Anyway, NRG are going to be on an anti-eco. Hopefully Valve will deal with that, and, well, Legacy dealt with this anti-eco as you would expect, 3-0.
Nimbly. That's what you love to see for the Ancient start here. Clean and collected for Legacy. OC will get the up. How do they deploy the big green? Where do they want to try and get their offer activated early? Because, as always, when you start the CT side on the back foot, these op purchases can become few and far between. Seems like he'll lock down A to start. Play 2-2 in mid and B. But they ain't no ballerinas.
So a flurry of util coming through there, and then a bit of a return from the Legacy side. Martin's pretty low, not too big of a deal because he's just a Mac 10 player, but Legacy are trying to readjust themselves and play off of that util that they've thrown and they've deployed, so that means donut control could be gained here. OC's going to challenge with the op. Should someone come through. Not sure if a flash is going to be thrown for this. There it is. Beautiful. He's able to slip through, but OC readjusts to get the shot onto Nikis, and Hext wakes up for one onto Bart. We'll see another.
Quick as. Sudzin, though, with the smoke, might just be able to get this bomb planted. Do indeed some money at the very least secured, and a chance for NRG. They would love to get out of this without heavy casualties. The round win is the most important thing of all, so they will commit into it. I think Nitro might have just been spotted. A pixel of him now, they're certainly aware. He's still going to be able to get that first kill. And no casualties further. Well done from NRG, keeping it relatively clean despite the retake required. They're on the board.
That's really good. Yeah, I mean, it was a bonus round for Legacy, even though it didn't look like it. They had 4 rifles in play and only 1 Mac 10, but that means they're going to have a buy-up here. Like you said, though, Mike, a lot of those times when you have the bomb planted in a 2v3, a 2v4 scenario, you can sometimes lose a body, maybe 2. NRG lose none. So that will bolster their economy, stabilize things immensely, and help them potentially punch back here. And be right back into the swing of things on Ancient, but they still have another buy-up for Legacy to worry about.
Fast play outside of B. Going here around the cave. For that Jaguar fight, it cost them heavily. Nice chip damage out from NRG early. Misthrown Molotov as well from Lato, losing track of his lineup in the smoke. It's not flawless here early for Legacy, but they do have control of the red room. OC's coming back to the board. Up on the other side, but OC pulls the trigger quicker. First blood NRG, second blood to follow. And this Legacy side is now reeling, looking for some sort of a road. And the road they might need is just to get back to that C4. Now risky to cross mid with OC potentially holding court. He's not. but they don't know that.
Those op shots are sharp for OC. All 4 of the frags he's gotten so far have been very crispy. That's a good omen for NRG if he continues to frag out the way he did on the previous map. Barton's managed to slip into cave, and his teammates off of that are going to rotate into that B site, the bomb. A little bit late in Dumao's hands. 30 seconds left. They've got to go for this, and they don't have a smoke or a Molotov. Only a flash and a nade to work with. This is not going to be easy for them, Mike.
By no means. At least they've chosen a site with only 2 on it. It's not stacked up, so silver lining. Lotto gets the 1. Right here, they know where Hex is, but can't get the kill. Barton now has to cross back to the bomb. That's going to buy precious time for his opponents to get on the line, and OC will do exactly that.
Very well done from NRG, honestly. A great hold. OC with some beautiful shots from the AWP once more, and Legacy don't do much damage to the economy of NRG again, so it really is bolstered now. I mean, obviously they have to spend a little bit of money to get the guns back on those 2 players that fell, but everyone else will be able to help build up that economy. 3-2. Legacy still have enough to get 3 AKs and 2 Tech 9s. Utah's not great, so this is a bit of a risk. Will lead them to a tough buy-up in the next one. In fact, no buy-up at all, I would imagine, if they lose here. But hey, they're feeling confident. They had a nice comeback in the previous map. Maybe they can do it again here. Not opposed to hitting shots like that consistently. X, despite being blinded, still gets the frag onto Sadzine. 5v3 in favor of NRG, and they still got 3 players waiting here on the B site, which is where Legacy are continuing to try and press.
Hex wants the info. Info could come at a cost, but for the moment, it'll be A-okay. Legacy pumping the brakes here, hoping that someone gives them a peek in, gives them something to work with here. Neki is going to go walking in towards this site. Smoke tips him off. And the swing around the pillar is good for 2. Nitro can't quite find that 3rd, but Dumao can't get back towards that bomb plant. Oh, not without paying a heavy price.
Yeah, OC hasn't really missed a shot since getting that op in his hands. So NRG tied up 3-3. Timeout going to be called here, I think, by Legacy. It says 0 of 3, so I'm not sure if that's just a HUD glitch or not, but yeah, you're going to see it again. OC hitting that first one that closes out the round once more with the final shot. Good to see Nitro getting activated if you're an NRG fan. He finds 2 more to his name, and yeah, this might be a technical timeout, Mike. Yeah, it looks like it. We've lost Sadzine.
Well, hopefully we'll find him. He can't have gone far.
Don't think so.
Can't have done it. I mean, I'm assuming they're in a team house, so surely they can find him.
Unless
he wandered into a closet thinking it was the bathroom, and suddenly he's in Narnia.
Yeah.
Tumnus, I need to be in Counter-Strike server. Don't worry, Sadzine. Just eat the Turkish delight.
That'll send you back. Oh, man.
We'll be back just after Sadzine has to save a magical kingdom. Don't worry about it, folks. Time passes differently when they're there versus here. Like, it's all fine.
It's like 5 seconds for us and, you know, a full 4 days for them.
They'll merge a year older, wizened, the king of a fictional empire. The match is still going on. I'm not too late. He's just got a beard.
And an accent, apparently.
White hair. I mean, that's what, you know, an elder fantasy king sounds like. Well, it does seem like this might take a moment. So I'm going to ask the magic voices in my head. Can we take a quick little break here while we wait for Sadzine to hop back in? Nope, we cannot, because he's back. He's back. The universe has answered me. And they've said, we found Sadzine. He's out of Narnia. There are no more talking animals. He's ready to fry once more.
We can talk about the potential here for NRG to really mount a nice recovery after being down 3-0.
Let's let them try and beat the eco first.
That's exactly what I was kind of trying to allude to, Mike, because this eco has been their undoing on multiple occasions, and you see here it's still lethal guns. There is no armor for Legacy, so that's a big factor here, but you have 3 Deagles, make that 2 Deagles and a Tech 9, which can certainly do some damage. And they're all grouping up for a B hit. Uh-oh, Nitro has to fall back here, needs to do the damage. There it is. Okay, it's all good, Mike. The anti-eco is solid this time, not a single body lost.
Yeah, there really wasn't anything behind it. No armor, no flashes. Just provided you don't get absolutely bamboozled. Wasn't a whole lot there for Legacy. And he's gone again. Darn you, Narnia. Give him back. Their hold is strong.
They don't want to take their claws off him, Mike.
He feels the call of the deep magic.
Apparently this is going to be a very short tech pause, and yeah, he's already back, so we're good.
He's back.
Hopefully his PC has gotten all the CS crashes out of its system.
Fingers crossed. Time ticking away. They've given him the AWP. Don't crash with the AWP in hand. We had that earlier. Maka in Europe hit a nice shot and then crashed and walked into a molly and disconnected.
Oh no. Well, Sadzin's hoping he doesn't suffer the same fate. 1:35 on the clock here. Legacy have the full buy-up coming through. Already deployed a ton of utility. A bit of spam for Nitro. Doesn't really yield much damage. Only 9 HP on Lato. Doesn't know it, of course. I'm not sure if that's even going to matter here in the grand scheme of things. Molotov's going to sail through for Cubby there at mid as Legacy want to take maybe mid control. Feels like the idea might be to pinch on mid. But as it stands, they are playing the slow game.
Double stack up here in Cave. This is going to be the critical piece. It's Breeze and Nitro. Little firing squad here. Keep going in. First one deleted. Second as well. The setup works. Well, Nikki's will be able to trade one back away. The math is not checking out. The math is not mathing in Legacy's favor. 30 seconds. B ramp smoked. Their avenues of approach very limited. Control still a donut. You have to go B. It has to be Cave.
Why are they going A?
Well, at this point, they might be going safe.
Yeah, they have to. There's no choice. I think they got lost and didn't realize the clock was so low, and the save has to be called. Wow. That is Legacy letting the clock escape from them, and then they lose the AK on top of it all. Sadzine at least saves the AWP, but
well,
that's the first round.
That kill came right before time expired, John.
Yes, as well. They were lucky that happened, but I was going to say, it's the first time we've seen a pretty shaky round from Legacy, honestly. We saw 3 from NRG, and we were more worried about them, but now Legacy let one of theirs slip away. Yeah,
and Chucky's seeing this now, right? Chucky's looking at this and going, I don't like the way these last rounds have looked. So let's correct. First timeout used. Chucky getting in their ears, trying to correct whatever he's seeing. Find them a new target to focus on. They do have that saved AWP from Sadzine. They do have some techies. This is a round where we know they'll be dangerous.
No question. I mean, Sadzine's done it before, just with that AWP, and obviously now would be a prime chance for him to come through again in the clutch for his squad. Obviously, those techs, like you mentioned, with the body armor, yeah, this is definitely a little bit of a scary buy for Legacy, given how things have gone for NRG in these types of situations. There's a nice nade toss, but actually it's a little early, so it doesn't do as much damage as it might have done had it been thrown maybe a second later. Either way, there goes the smoke for B ramp. Legacy are through. It feels like no, they stall out. As soon as the smoke is thrown, they say, nope, this is not going to work out for us, guys. Let's push the pause button and completely retreat off of B. So they lose a lot of control. Maybe not so much because Lato's left behind here with the P250 to give them information if NRG push out. So that's something. But they're going to deviate either straight to A or maybe for some mid control. Looks like it's going to be straight to A, and, well, look who's on the other side. It's Breeze.
It is indeed. It's not really got any support. I'll see the closest one in Donut with that AWP. But let's see what Breeze can do on his lonesome. 45 seconds. They do have to go. The op is the first one to find. That's pretty nice, but he is traded. That op's retrieved. An extra gun can be picked up, but automatic now on the angle. OC deleted the flames, disguised the swing. Now they're in trouble. Automatic kill. That from elbow might have just saved them. Lato is on the far side of the map, and he really needs to get a move on. I know that Legacy love to do this late lurk, but there's 20 seconds on the clock, and you're in an eco, and you've got a P250, and you are slow rotating, and it works. It works. 12 seconds.
Yeah, they gotta go.
Make me eat my words. One more kill required. Not gonna have it.
Wow. I was going to say, like, I don't necessarily mind it too much, but yeah, the clock was very, very low, Mike, and you're right for calling them out on that, but it still works out. They get the frag. The thing is, they can't get the last. Hex, with a critical clutch for his squad, finally closing an anti-eco, even though it got exceptionally scary again. They also have a ton of money in their bank account, so it's not going to be too much of a fuss. Goodness me. Almost saw things slip away through your fingers, your NRG. But no, there's an opening frag and an instant trade. Dumel, Nade gonna get tossed. Breeze gets away from it for the most part. Lato trying to spam through the smoke. In the meantime, Dumel is finally found by Nitro. And then Nitro gets traded by Lato, seemingly in midair.
All right, sometimes RNG smiles upon you. And Lato's prayers, they've been answered in that moment. So now the 3-on-3. Mid control firmly in the grasp of NRG, and they're looking to get aggressive with it. So have to be wary. Sadzine is here in the elbow. Oh, he's made in Jaguar. That'll be heard by Hacks, certainly. This might pull them into the B defense. It is indeed going to do so, but the thing is, Legacy pretty much have to take it. They could go all the way through spawn with no information on A main. Or they can take B, which NRG are very well set up to deal with.
Lato, it feels like he wants to peek mid. Like, he's really of two minds right now. Like, he's going back and forth, like, should I have a peek? Should I go and look? And no, he's going to actually commit with his team towards this B take. And like you mentioned, it's well set up for NRG. 31 seconds left. Lato clears the wrong corner, but he manages to play. No, he doesn't. Hex will get the headshot. OC finds that scene. Before that, Barton, the last one standing, and he manages to get one, but 21 seconds left. He's got to get a move on desperately. Trying to bait out some more engagements here, and he gets the shot onto Hex. 1v1. Breeze has this. No way he doesn't. He absolutely will. 7-3, but again, so close, Mike.
It's so expensive, but they've got the money at least to deal with it now. And they're stacking up the rounds. A lead guaranteed here for NRG, and I mean, that one got very close indeed, with just no expectation that Breeze was working his way up the ramp. It's impossible to pick correct there. You just kind of have to guess and risk it. And now Legacy started off 3-0 off the pistol, have been blanked for 7 rounds in a row from NRG.
This is a hell of a showing from NRG with their backs against the wall, having just let their map pick slip away. OC shot through the smoke here as it was blown away, and it looks like the smoke's going to be good enough to give Legacy the bomb. Maybe? They fight into cave? Nitro gets one, Barton the trade, but the bomb's still not down.
Now it'll be planted. Now it'll be planted with cave controlled. They've got a much better position for this post. NRG, the swing out from Neckies on short, that's wild, and now Hexa just doesn't know which way to look. Doesn't know which way to turn. Breeze trying to battle this back in, but he's running out of time. Automatic is still far away in Jag. But what was that flick from Breeze? defuse on, and the run will continue.
That is just so ridiculous from Breeze. I mean, he didn't stop. He just held W the whole time. So I'm going to keep moving and finding frag as much as I possibly can to bring my team back into this. And he just got locked in, and 3 frags in a row for him. I did not think he was going to get that site player. I thought it was going to be the first, and then he gets traded and maybe a 1v1 situation that NRG can clutch. But no, he doesn't even want to let it get there. What a flick. 8-3. In favor of NRG, we go into the last round of the half, and this is looking a lot like their match against Party Astronauts on Ancient. It is extremely promising for NRG to go up against a team like Legacy that is proven to be a powerhouse here and have this kind of a CT side. Automatic waiting in red room right now. There is a player out there in the keys, unbeknownst to Automatic, and he's going to tuck himself behind the boxes for now. Actually, no, he's in front of the boxes, creeping up. He could get caught off if Automatic times this right. He hasn't had that many frags this half, but this would be a huge one if he gets it. Oh, maybe he... Oh, here we go, here we go. Or not. It's just not going to happen. A whole lot of nothing there, Mike.
Seems to be that way. Looking at he's all the way through red room. He has so much space on this. Automatic's watching for it, but if Niki's wraps spawn, they have no vision now. They have no vision on this. Niki's is wary about being that first piece, right? He wants to make sure they're not looking his way, but now as he starts to wrap his way back around, no one is looking for this.
A.
They've got the right read. These two players not looking for it. Breeze about to wander into the crosshair of Niki's. The op can be spotted in Donut. Just turn left. He hasn't seen him. He hasn't seen him. Now OC collects on one. Niki's is so cautious, and in doing so, he's completely missing his opportunity, and he's completely losing his teammates in the same moment. Patience gone too far, and it leaves it to Dumao in the clutch. He had this round on a platter, but he wasn't satisfied with the meal that he'd been served. Went looking for an extra snack, and in so doing, fumbles the opportunity. We'll be back after this. Back in for this second half. NRG dominant here to start on Ancient, stacking themselves a really good bevy of rounds. Some premium missed opportunities from Legacy to get on the board. And it was 9 uncontested in a row from NRG. So, if they can get this pistol, we could just be done. In a moment here, our decider, should we get there, is Inferno, John.
Could be interesting.
Indeed. Starts in, feeling the heat. Oh, and turning up the flames himself. Trying to kick them on out of his kitchen, but the bomb is going to go down. We got OC all the way back on the elbow, anticipating a long flank. But there's no one coming here just yet. It's all through Temple. With Barton thinking about the donut route. That helps. Feels so casual. Just a quick tap and a player gone. A second as well. The bodies are starting to stack up here, and they are not looking favorable for Legacy. Dumel wants no part of this. He just wants a fight, and a fight he will get.
This is wild from NRG. All right, pistol round taken, 10-3 in their favor. Legacy, if they force up and lose here, don't get any guns saved, we could, like you said, Mike, be done very, very quickly here in this second half. 2 MP9s and 3 5.7s come through for Legacy. On the NRG side, all rifles, not a single SMG purchased up. 4 of them Galils, of course, only 1 AK, but still. That's a lot of firepower going Legacy's way. They will have to be ready to receive it. 3 players waiting on B. Automatic already out towards mid. There's a smoke down that is being used by Dumel as cover. But I think NRG are just trying to look around and see if the hit will ultimately go towards this B site. Hex, a little bit of spam through. That nade misses the mark. That's not where he wanted to throw it, folks. If that wasn't clear. Breeze moving up the A ramp. This is going to be tough. 2 MP9s on the angle. Yeah, he's done. Doesn't even get 1. And the spam will only lead to another frag for NRG. That means it's a 4v3 in favor of Legacy. Another anti-eco. Maybe going to slip away.
Still plenty of time. Still plenty of time. They got a minute. The spam is effective as well. Down to the 3-on-3. But you're right. Just based on a track record we've seen, you got to be nervous if you're rooting for NRG. Take a chill pill. Take a little pausey poo. That might allow Dumel a chance to do something interesting here. For now, he'll just wait and play contain. Hover under the lip of the window. And now Nitro's headed his way. Timing will be everything here. When does Dumel decide to activate? Smoke to give them a path to a bomb plant. And Dumel does lead himself right into the crosshair of OC. Damage done, but no kill. Bomb down. And following the tracers back through, leaves it all onto Lato. 1 man remaining. 5-7 in a dream. And well, he will find one more kill around. It will not be.
Alrighty, well, this is an eco, no questions asked, coming through from Legacy. They cannot buy. Sadzine is ready for an op in the next round, but right here, I think it has to be maybe upgraded pistols. That's it. Some utility at most. Armor is not in the equation for Legacy, so should be, this on should, a 12th round for NRG. 2 AKs, 3 Galils for them. Nade to pop that smoke. That will allow automatic to go on through. 5-7's up close. Could get dangerous. I like the setup again from Legacy. That's what Hex going to be expecting it. He is, but still, a trade comes through. Can he grab the rifle? No. OC's waiting, and now Breeze going to get dinked down by the USP, which is doing so much damage here from range. They have to be really careful, otherwise this could quickly end up being a spicy situation. Is that USB going to be enough to hold him off B? He's the only player there.
He's the only player there.
Oh no, look what Automatic's walking. Oh, okay.
Walking away from.
Yeah.
Into the donut he goes instead. Avoids the crossfire of the 2 pistols.
Avoids the sandwich.
There you go. But it's Lato who's the first snack of this meal. They will catch automatics. That's a gun found, but that's likely just something to save into the next round. If NRG just accelerate in towards B, there should be very little Legacy can do to stop them. And indeed, that will be the case. The bomb is going to be planted. That is a prize.
The thing is, Mike, those two players, that's confirmed damage, and they know they're still alive, right? So I think they try for this.
Without armor, with a rifle on, it seems like you are correct. Nikiz is giving it a look. And he will find the first. Molotov on, and it's a T-side molly as well. If he had a kit, this could be done. No kit is available, and the swing in costs him his life and costs them the round. They've made it expensive. And it might claim OC's life as well. Heck, it might. I need to get the heck out of Dodge.
Well, bomb won't explode. Won't matter. All right, so they survived. But yeah, this is another good setup. I really like that, honestly, from Legacy. Every single round that they're in a disadvantaged situation, they're just sending those two players there to try and defend. It hasn't yielded a round victory, but it's made it close pretty much every single time. And right there, I know he doesn't have the kit, but the Molotov's out. Maybe just stick the defusal and you have your teammate distracting the other two players. Could have worked out potentially, but I get it. You know, still a lot of time required to actually get that defused. Anyway, 12-3 for NRG. 9 opportunities to end this one. Dumao just slips right past one. Does he realize it? I think so. I don't know now. Hex is popping right on back, and if he gets a frag here, it'll give them that man advantage they so desperately want. But as it stands, they're into towards mid, and automatic is so low. They need to readjust.
And so the adjustment will come in towards A main, but look at Dumao. Look at Dumao. He's all the way through spawn. This is a ton of information. Barton isn't moving just yet because he's wary that they could be in towards cave. But at some point, he's going to have to risk it. I don't know what Lato's coming back for. They're so wary that this could be a cave play. But if Dumao can creep closer, he's going to be way further along because they have this presence in mid on Hex. They're not going to expect...
Are they looking for this flank?
That A main wrap. They are not watching it at all. Automatic thinks about it. And OC has been assassinated. Automatic able to stem the bleeding. That's a heck of a time to cauterize the wound. Lato in the corner. There's not enough time. 25 seconds. If he can drop this bomb planted, this round could be over. Doesn't span the box, though. Doesn't span the box. Lato instead trying to creep out, secure it all. Catches damage instead, and 2 kills back the other way. All falls to Barton. Barton playing on through. Dancing around the donut. Dodged nimbly. Hex buys time. And now it falls on his teammate Breeze to secure the round, to secure the map. Barton desperate. Full 10 seconds defuse. Breeze, no urgency there. And the kill he will find on his own time. NRG are taking us the distance. We're getting a full 3 maps.
That was 13 in a row.
Wow.
13 rounds in a row for NRG. Unreal stuff coming through here on Ancient. Maybe it's their new map. I don't know. They just won 13-4 and 13-4 yesterday and 13-3 here today up against a very good Ancient team and made them look silly on multiple occasions. This was exactly what they needed after letting Anubis slip through their fingers. In fact, if they had won Anubis, we could have been looking at a 2-0 right now with the way they played there.
Yeah, that's just what the doctor ordered. Just what the doctor ordered. And it makes sense, right? If you've been getting punched on a map over and over again, you've been turning it over in your head. You've been thinking about it. You've been working on it. And maybe we're seeing the fruits of their labor now. So, big change of fortunes here. A check on Int. Did he really have 180 AR with that scoreline? That feels wild. And he did indeed. Lato putting damage down range. That's very impressive considering the circumstances, considering the scorelines. So that's why he's our Kadia player to watch, Mr. Bruno. And we're going to have to watch our way on out into a break because we've got one more map to play. It's Inferno, the decider, as it has been for so many moments in Counter-Strike history. It's Inferno where we find out which of these teams goes through to the ESL Pro League. It's do or die. We'll be back. And we're back for the final map. For the final map that stands between one of these teams and the ESL Pro League. Those are the stakes. Yes, the grand final will matter as well. The championship of ESL Challenger League is huge for one of these teams, but the moments right now for that Pro League bot to extend these teams' journey into that upper echelon of Counter-Strike play to secure a much-needed tournament in 2025. NRG, a hell of a battle back here, John. Can they do it on Inferno?
I feel like the answer is yes to that, based on their performances throughout the entire playoffs and even that recovery on Ancient. Anything's possible. I would even say with the stakes being so high that I wouldn't want anyone other than Nitro on my side in terms of that veteran experience that we've been touting throughout the entirety of this run that they've had here in Season 48. So, yeah, I think it's looking great. He performed way better on Ancient. The only thing that might be going against NRG here is the fact that the last time they lost on this map, it was to none other than Legacy. 7-13 was the scoreline there. I don't think that's going to matter much, though, Mike. And the reason why is because of what I just said. You know, the stakes are so high. This is the classic map 3. It's probably going to be really close and back and forth. And I think it's going to be decided maybe by a crazy individual effort.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Hard to know until we get into the server, but it certainly is that moment where everything's on the line, and it might just be the team that performs better under the pressure. Yes. Legacy are going to be kicking themselves for the way that Ancient went. They never really felt like they got into it, right? They get the 3 rounds off the pistol, and then they're just blanked out. There's a lot of moments where it felt like they might have been able to get their clutches into it, and they just couldn't. They just couldn't find rounds, couldn't find purchase, couldn't find opportunities, and that is just one of these situations where you're so disappointed as players. You're so disappointed as a team. You just don't feel like you were able to have any impact, and they have to just forget that immediately as they log into this Inferno.
I think what I was saying before we got into Ancient, what I was praising them for is that decision-making, that confidence, you know, not really hesitating and making their movements. They did a lot of hesitating on Ancient. In one round, they tried to go back to the A site without realizing there was no time to do so. I mean, they ran out of time on the clock, so they were making, had oversights in that regard, and also a lack of decision making from the keys going into that A site when they were pincering in. You know, time was starting to tick away. He had to make his move to support them from the flank. Instead, he doubles back, thinking someone's wrapping on him around from Catacombs or from Temple, and it doesn't work out at all. And the rest of his team melts away as he's trying to chase Ghosts. So it was a tough one for Legacy, but now they have a chance to reboot here on Inferno.
That they do. And I think it's one of those situations where, you know, despite there being a lot of competitive experience on this roster for Legacy, it is a very young team still.
Yes.
And so performing under pressure, performing in those big moments, that is something that can definitely be difficult. You know, Dumao and Lato, they've been competing for a while, but Dumao's 20. I think Lato
young, right?
Might be 21. In the grand scheme of things, yeah, these careers are still very young. Dumao! Try and take command here. Can't have enjoyed the way Ancient unfolded, and we know these guys can take over the server, so he will do exactly that here on Banana. Let's play in here. Lato caught off guard. The pack is here. And though Sadzin will be in position, he will be able to collect as well. So now Sadzin just needs to stay alive, knows he doesn't want to get run down. And he's able to escape. Brilliant bit of movement there from Sadzin.
That's a tough spot for NRG to be in, honestly, because you got players coming from both sides. They try to make the decision to wrap through CT towards that B site, but a great job from Sadzin to get one, then pushing in and forcing the issue on the other side, I believe, was in the keys. And now NRG are just left with OC and Automatic to try and find a way to either bomb site. The good news for them is if they go to B, there's 2 players there. They go to A, there's 2 players there. So they got a 2v2 on their hands one way or another to try and take a site. But the lack of manpower is highly concerning. They need to be clean on these frags to make it a close attempt at a plant. 26 seconds, the clock is not on their side. And the gun spawn.
OC out of time. Out of chances. A desperate attempt at the bomb plant, but it is not to be. At least he spends the smoke, so they can't use it. It's the little things, folks. So a good start for Legacy, but as we saw on Ancient, that is the very first piece of the puzzle. And there are many, many more pieces you could get. They couldn't have had a more ideal start to Ancient, and then it just went up in smoke.
Yep. Won the first 3. We have to remember that. It's a good point that you bring up again, Mike. And, well, NRG, at least for them, they're like, okay, whatever. Did it last time. Do it again. Maybe Legacy's got a bit more in the tank this time around. NRG not investing at all. Didn't get the bomb plant, so just going to box stuff forward. Should be pretty cut and dry for Legacy. And it is. This round is pretty much done at this point. Only Automatic left standing. Automatic does not get one here either. It's all 5 frags coming through without any casualties for Legacy.
Keeping it clean again. Spotless record. Not a stain on their smocks. Only Lotho smocks. Slightly stained up. Slightly stained up. Or is it like Helldivers, and actually the longer you survive, the messier you get? Oh, Nick is here in the cubby. Will swing out. He'll be the survivor. We're making sure there's no one else to tell the tale. Sudzin lost, but worth the exchange. Next to Nitro taking a back seat now. So they'll shift their focus over towards B. Have some smokes to try and get onto this, but no flashbangs. It's not going to be easy. Time whittling off, waiting these smokes. Now they gotta go. Answer utility, Automatic eats that. They can't risk the Molotov. Eventually they have to make the move. Automatic is sacrificed into the void, and the transfer from Lotto is so very good.
That was unbelievable from Legacy. That's the buy-up for NRG, and for Legacy, a bonus round that just goes absolutely phenomenally. They get 3 AK upgrades. Only 1 casualty, I think it was. If that, that's just unreasonable. Yeah, just Sadzin dead and everyone else surviving. NRG are going to want that one back. They walk into a complete slaughter at that B site, and now we're on a half buy here with 2 techs and 3 deagles. I don't know what the path to victory would be in this round. Probably very few. I was gonna say maybe they should just buy tech 9s and try to send them, but with those deagles you got to be more patient. And Barton catches off Breeze with like a deer in headlights there in the apartments. That's a first frag already for Legacy, who are looking like a team reborn here on Inferno.
This may not be the baptism of fire for their rebirth. It's more like a baptism of maybe slightly warm water. Definitely not unpleasant. Will happily shower in its warmth. Nitro, it's like they turned the tap just a bit too far. And then, quickly find the adjustment as well. So 1 casualty, very comfortable for Legacy. Money in their back pockets. Op out for Sadzin. Every bit of utility you could possibly imagine here, John. They got it all.
They do. On both sides. Okay. NRG. Going to need a little bit of a boost. A little bit of nitrous charged into this round.
Maybe a nitros?
Yes. You got where I was going. Molotov's going to get tossed towards top banana here. And a little bit of spam from Legacy, but they're not going to challenge at all. That means banana control given up to NRG completely. But it also means that Legacy get to save a ton of utility to counter what could be some top banana control. But there's the incendiary, and, well, it won't matter at all. Automatic gets one left of the trade. Doesn't get tagged at all either. Throws a smoke up. Splash is going through. NRG are just going to charge onto the site. And Lato's probably not going to be able to do much about it. Oh, that nade, is it going to connect? Not deep enough. Nitro survives. Another nade? No. Still, no damage from both nades. Oh, if only they knew how close they were, Mike.
Only they knew. The close only matters in horseshoes and hand grenades. And they are out of hand grenades for the moment. The last one's in pit. Still, NRG have been put on notice. They don't have smokes for these choke points, so they need to battle forward to try and secure the space to get a plant. We'll get that down to dirt. Legacy incredibly conservative about this. Barton was still wary. That could have been a rotate off. And Hex goes 1 for 1, so that's a good find. Right now, it's a 3-on-2 on site. Barton's trying to get here to help out his teammates. And they could certainly use the utility he can lob on in. So here it goes. Trying to get them around one corner. That doesn't really catch. Molly doesn't find a target. Smoke for banana. That'll be nice. Need to harass the pool player. And EV's killed. Barton 1 for 1. They're running out of time. They're running out of clock. Nick is 2 HP. Spam's not on, but Freeze is just going to jump on through.
Wow.
And the kill he will find. NRG are on the board, though there will be no survivors.
Wow, that was a very nice take from NRG. Nitro just continuing to survive down to the very last moment in that situation. And you see it here. I mean, even delivering a couple of frags for his squad on that low HP. Impressive stuff from the IGL, which is what he's been delivering map after map. That previous one, I don't think he was at the top, but he was fragging out a lot more than he did on map number 1. Now he's already at the top here for Inferno, helping NRG get their first on the board, perhaps the first of many, as Legacy are watching some of their money disappear. Even though they still have a strong buy, stronger than NRG do, feels like NRG has something cooking. This time, Legacy challenging a little bit more for that banana control. You see NRG still unable to commit. Nice nade pop from the site there. I like that. Just going to go for the flower pots boost now. And a more standard setup here as Legacy set up for the defense.
Smokes retrieve, that's critical. Not much, but Chains smokes outside of the shirt. Sadzine blinded up. That flashbang doesn't guise his vision enough, as the blind fire is effective all its own. Here comes the hit. Small con out. It'll be answered from Legacy. A Molotov could be put behind it, and indeed it will be. So they've placed their nades well. But the hit's going to come through nonetheless. It stalls them out a bit, and Dumas able to take advantage of that to catch automatic. Now the drop off the flower pots boost. Double man advantage here for Legacy. They'll be very content to go for this retake.
Yeah, kind of lost them there on the... I understand the reason why they want to go for the retake, but could have done more damage to the side that it was a little too risky. And they don't have that much retake utility, so this could still be dicey. NRG could easily pull this one back if they hit their shots in the opening fights, and, well, so that was a lot tougher, and, well, Nitro's the last one standing, and he won't be able to fend off 4 players with a Galil. Not gonna happen. 5-1 in favor of Legacy, and the money is kind of low for NRG. Yes, the repeated bomb plants are helping, but they have to be careful with how they deploy themselves here.
At the end of the day, as we've seen, the only thing that matters is stacking up those rounds.
Yep.
And Legacy now already finding 5, looking to build upon that. An eco required from NRG. Many techies out. A Mac 10 for Hex. This one could get fast. Should even probably get fast. Initial salvo goes in. They will not have much. Chasing this down, Dumao. Like, damn, he's bringing the aggression, but Hex is able to track, figures out he's on the wrong side, rather, of the half wall. Now back around, looking for the crossfire. Through the smokes they go. Not being timid at all if they can run down this kill. Lato out, now the bomb's going down, and it is big danger on for Legacy. Oh my goodness, Nick, he's bets on himself. Whew. Pays off for a moment, man advantage. Where's the money at? They want to risk this. They want to risk this retake.
That off is so important. I just don't feel like they're gonna go for it with that op up, and yeah, they don't. They have the money to reinvest into it, but do you really want to? They're going
for it. They're committing. They both swung, and Breeze and Nitro punish them for it. Show the danger of those B site retakes. NRG off of pistols and a MAC-10 have found their second round and have shattered that well-built economy of Legacy. It's going to be a force buy.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one. That one was weird because you see Dumao's money is low. Sadzine as well. If you save in that situation, you're much better off. You, in fact, will have 5 rifles. You'll be fine. Instead, they're in a situation where it's going to be a bit of a choppy buy-up for a couple of players. Yes, you can get MP9s in. I guess that's okay. I think Dumao's actually going to have to settle for a pistol, perhaps. Maybe there's a gun that'll be dropped for him, but I don't even see where that money would be. So, yeah. Okay, MP9 purchased up, so he's got that. But still, that means no utility. Look at that. 3 smokes and a nade. The saved guns with the util, I think they still had some. Would have been way better. I don't know why you go into that. There's like, and the bomb ticking away as well. You have so little chance of success. Your percentage chance probably, I don't know, less than 5. And they still go for it, and they get absolutely dumpstered. An interesting decision from Legacy. I think that's going to bolster NRG significantly, though. Maybe they can charge back here and do something. Well, they're going out, and Sadzine's only going to get 1 mic, 2 for NRG and Nitro.
There's some crazy aggression coming through. Legacy really just trying to throw a spanner in the works. That spanner's been chewed clean through. Double push here on Banana, perhaps. They got the numbers here. They got the op on the line. Spots it, but the shot doesn't land. Fault off the chase, forcing the back. Parton's kind of committed here. Now he's burning. Teammate trying to save him. Unfortunately for Barton, they don't peek. The nade does chase. Those are some chunky red bars. And Barton and Sadzin both very fortunate to limp away from that one. Still in towards A they go, knowing it's a light sight. Lato. Only the one. This should surely be the save. And yeah, indeed, the call has been made. Sadzin and Barton not going to give this a look in.
Yeah, what they should have done in the previous round, honestly, but they'll do here. But I still don't know if they'll be able to save the guns. Looking at the money here for NRG, a chase is certainly justifiable. But as it stands, the round way more important to them until that bomb is imminently going to detonate. But I think a chase will come through from, yeah, it's OC. Going towards that B site, these are 2 exceptionally soft targets. Yes, Sadzine has the op, so 1 shot could take care of OC. But if he misses, that could spell a ton of trouble. Barton spotted. OC just has to spam the wall. He's done. Sadzine, the last one standing now. They know he has the op. They want to chase him down. Bomb will explode. OC doesn't want to look just yet. Now he's going to have a peek. Sadzine tucked into the corner. He'll try to be patient. Is there time to get him? No. Op will be saved at the very least, but Legacy, I think they're just getting a little ahead of themselves, you know, with the attempted retake and the situation didn't make sense, and then charging down mid, getting aggressive, going against their typical style of play. They need to be careful. 3 rounds picked up for NRG. It's 2 in a row. The opposite for Sadzine. We saw this before where it can work out, but man, oh man, NRG are storming back into this one.
Sadzine missing his first opportunity. There were players there at the top of ramp, but tough to capitalize. Now they know where the op is. So, NRG going to naturally flow into the gap that it's created on the other side of the map. Double flower pot stack. How you like them apples? Well, you flash them apples. Don't flash apples. Pick apples. That's it. There was a bit of damage, a hint of it from Dumao, but that should be just about it. New mission, save this op once more.
Yep, makes sense. Keep it alive, no reason to throw it away. The thing is, there's going to be a hunt for sure now, and I think it's going to be multiple players hunting down this AWP. They know what it could mean if they shut them down here. Breeze is already hungry for blood. He's got 5. Wants to make it 6 and 7 in that frag total. Dumao, a light target with a USP. It's the op. That's the prize. There's Dumao gone. Op does connect, but now they know exactly where he is. The thing is, they're so far, Mike. I don't think they'll get it in time. So again, Sadzine will save the AWP.
The op does live. The op does live, and while it survives, its impact is a continued threat here for NRG. They look to equalize into this round. It should be an investment out from Legacy, and indeed it will. Engagement here on the edge of the smoke. A pop revealing nothing. Information as of yet denied. But aggression down Banana. This instead nets them control. One side of the map has been closed for business. That'll rotate Netkeys back in to try and support his teammates, dumping Util in the process. But they're wrapping Moto.
Wow.
And that's a massive kill from OC. Just before the snatch from the bottom of mid could come through. Netkeys, what a find, but he wanders into the crosshair of Automatic. That bomb has to be retrieved. They have to test Dumao to do so. And meanwhile, Lato tries to creep into position to help out his teammate. There's still time.
Automatic's looking for this.
NRG will take their chances, and Automatic will find. They leave the bomb alone for the moment, but now Dumao, only that bomb as his companion.
Wow.
And Breeze will take it from him.
I appreciate that play from Automatic and Breeze. Breeze actually just waiting and watching the bomb, or the vicinity where the bomb is, so that he knows that CT's going to try and come look and see if everything's okay. And Automatic, the wherewithal to just be aware of the fact that that B rotator is going to come in from library, just being, you know, more focused on that than he is about retrieving the bomb. That's just some brilliant play from NRG. They tie things up at 5-5, and again, Sadzine has the AWP. This time it's not saved over. This is a hero off that's going to be coming through. Interesting decision making here from Legacy, and he's dead. The op is done. Well, I mean, it's going to be picked up from Barton. But still, I mean, the player you want it to be in the hands of is Sadzine, and he is down for the count.
Still, there are a lot of hands here that can wield this AWP.
True.
Bartons will be the first to touch the beacon. It's the bevy of utility that's the real problem. It doesn't matter whose hands they're in if they can't see anybody.
Yeah.
Smokes, flashes, mollies, whatever you want. The utility belt is full. We got Bruce Wayne in the server, and he's been doing his Christmas shopping. Molotov to clear porch, smoke off. And the op has already shifted away. So this is going to turn into a save of the AWP.
It makes sense. You have to. I mean, look at Sadzine's money. He can't get an op in the next round. You just have to ferry it away and say, look, that's it. We can see the round. Leave Netkeys behind. Maybe do something cheeky with a 5-7. If that doesn't work, which it probably won't, then at least you get the op into the final round. You get that full, proper buy-up that you're hoping for. Okay, Netkeys gets one.
Hold on. That op will never shift back out. They just don't have the time at this point. But Netkeys gets an AK, and I mean, that's a huge find. Get away with this? Wait, massive. Making this final buy of the half count. And they withdraw. He gets away with that AK. They get the good guns. They get them out of here. NRG's appetite for the hunt is limited, anticipating that a retake could be on. That one nick, his kill, was enough to discourage them from the chase. But they find 6.
Still, yeah, 5 in a row for NRG. Is 5-1 for Legacy, and all of a sudden things started to slip away. A couple of rash decisions costing Legacy a save and then a round after that. We head into the 12th round of play with NRG having a chance at a 2-round lead heading into that second half. It was looking kind of dire, honestly, at the beginning. Legacy were on their game. They managed to rebuff a couple of NRG buy-ups, but then NRG found a way to crack through, in particular towards that B site where they had repeated success. Automatic is going to spam the smoke. He's the lurk, I think, in this situation. He's going to get flashed out by the bomb carrier, which is OC. I'd be surprised if OC... Actually, no, he's going to stick around. Okay, so maybe the end result will be B, but there's just so much presence towards A that it would be shocking to me if the bomb ends up in this direction.
Oh, that was lethal. Flashbang to force the turn off, gets on top of the barrels, and just puts one right between the eyes of the upper.
I just got to point out, Mike, that's an interesting read from Lato, right? They lose a player B, and he immediately rotates A, expecting a push to come through. Oh, no, the smoke is not the play for Barton. He gets caught by Breeze just waiting for that to happen, and now a 5v3. Again, the read from Lato is good, but he just lost another teammate.
Yeah, I mean, you can stack the numbers all you want. If they keep peeling them off one by one, it's not going to make much of a difference. Nikis could have the timing on this peak. Nitro is exposed. There we go. Nitro is collected, and now the Op's out of position. Down he goes. Lato to follow. And it's a 1v4 for Dumao. We know the guy's got some juice, but this takes the whole dang fruit. And Dumao is on the wrong side of the map to do anything about this. Time is ticking away. There's nothing to save here but his KD, so you might as well go for it, but you better get a move on if you're going to do so. And OC is trained on the angle of his peak. Was trained on the angle of his peak. He's kind of entering in the apartment, so at least Dumao can get a little closer, but better let go of that ship peak. And it is OC to eventually find him. 7 rounds for NRG, a lead. Our final half of play kicks off. NRG in the lead, just a few short rounds from the Pro League. Legacy looking to live up to their name. They've been on a strong run here, but the first half got away from them, and now a lot more work to do on their attacking half.
Look, I mean, Legacy stopped them from attending a LAN previously, ESL Challenger Katowice. NRG's got that in their minds, saying, not again, guys, or at least they're going to do their very darndest to stop them. Breeze gets the opener. Lato the immediate trade. Automax on a good line. Can he hit the shot? No. Nikis gets tagged down to 19 HP, though, and Automatic and Nitro are set up for perhaps 1 kill? Maybe 2? Yeah, 2. Nitro delivers, but he's going to need help, and he's got it. It actually doesn't. It's him that finds 3, and Lato is the last one standing, and it's all Nitro. A 4K comes through as he jumps to the top of the scoreboard.
Just a hint of a pixel in that last one. He started the series slow when we were wondering if maybe he'd be able to get locked in tonight. Well, he certainly is now.
Yeah.
And that is when they need him most. He's delivering. The scorelines aren't the most impressive, but that's just a facet of Inferno. There were a lot of saves in that first half. So you're never going to get the same eye-popping numbers you will on other maps. The good old, well, they killed 2, time to save.
That's the nature of Inferno that I wish would change, Mike, but it won't with the way the current map is designed. I don't even see what change you could make to modify that. It would take a lot.
Hear me out. You put giant trampolines.
Oh, okay.
At the bottom of mid and at Moto corner, and those trampolines will just launch you into the air across the map.
So like Apex, basically.
Sure. I didn't say it was a good idea. I just said it was an idea. Shake things up. Certainly would.
It would, but that's... I don't even know if that's Counter-Strike anymore, Mike.
All right, trap doors. If you press a lever in apartments, you drop a trap door out at the bottom of banana, but you need to have the vision between the side.
I think we're getting further and further away from a good solution here, Mike.
Trebuchets. There's a trebuchet in CT
lost.
spawn that flings an explosive barrel onto banana.
We've lost things, Mike, here.
Look, I'm just chock full of good ideas. Reach out to me, Valve. Reach out to
games. Yeah.
No, reach out to me, Valve. We can make this work. We can make it happen. Good flashbang in. Breeze will make that first kill happen. A second as well. Most of a third. He's just trying to stay alive, but the swing back in will net him more, and Nitro will be able to polish this one off.
Alrighty. Make it 8 in a row here.
All right, hear me out. You can drop claymores around corners.
Oh my god, Mike.
Everything I'm doing would actually make this game slower and worse.
Yes.
So let's see. How do we make the T side? Give them a drill, and they can drill through the middle of the map, but it takes like the first minute 30 of the round.
No, Mike.
Hot air balloons.
Why don't you connect Cubby on A to the banana?
Be interesting. Yeah. Certainly be interesting. OC mows down at 2. They dare test his flames, and they'll feel the wrath of the OC. Flashbang to force the back. That might set up the boiler peak. It does indeed for the tune of 2. Breeze has just ended this round for all intents and purposes. Well, Barton might be able to get his grips back on that C4. There are now 4 players near at hand, ready to deal, and they'll only need Nitro.
That's absolutely marvelous from NRG. I mean, this is starting
the bonus round.
Yeah, it was the bonus round. It's what Legacy did to them on the previous half. It's just the only thing is they couldn't really build up around it that much, and NRG went on this insane tear. They got the lead in the first half, and now it's 10-5 in their favor going into another anti-eco, which has been their Achilles heel throughout this series. Honestly, it was 10-5 on Anubis. They had an anti-eco, and then things fell completely apart. So let's see if that changes.
You're saying if they pass this test, NRG are going to the Pro League?
Yes, I think so.
That's the JRT guarantee. When we're in triple overtime, you know who to blame, folks. You know who to blame. The John Curse is out in the server.
No.
We'll see if they've got the holy water enough to overcome the John Curse.
How dare you, Mike? This is accurate predictions coming through here.
To be
Not
true.
a curse.
Flashbang in, trying to keep themselves alive. Oh, Automatic's got two. Up on top of the flower pots. This should be all good. Automatic stacking them up, and OC able to finish. So not only do they pass the test of the force buy, but they pass it cleanly. And now just 2 rounds. Just 2 rounds required. I'll have to do it against the guns in this one. But Legacy, no, it is do or die. Here and now.
I mean, yeah, this is wild. When you think about it, Legacy haven't really had that much early success at all. NRG have been the ones to really dominate for the most part. And it was the only moment where things kind of slipped away was when that, like we just talked about, 10-5 on Anubis, and they lost the anti-eco, and then that was pretty much the map getting out of their hands. Alrighty. Well, AKs for Legacy. They don't have full util though. They've already deployed some of it, and there's another smoke being tossed in towards Archside A, which looks like it'll be potentially their final destination. I'm not sure if this is just trying to fake the rotation over with making all this noise, but no, it doesn't feel like that at all. They're going for bracket control. They have it. It's being given to them by NRG. Breeze is playing a bit of a cheeky angle. We'll see if it pans out for him, Mike. 1 minute left on the clock. Legacy are really taking their time going back and forth here, and not really gaining much for it.
That's the problem. It's not losing the time off the clock. It's the fact that they haven't really found any information. And now they've just lost their lurker, so that's actually going to tip off NRG. You can see Automatic's already begun the rotation. A missed shot, though, for OC. That might open up the possibility. Hex has lost as a result. Automatic as well on the smoke pop. OC will connect, but this might just be too late. So the double wrap from Banana. Do they anticipate this play? Well, the flashbang flew them in. OC can't really move forward. He also can't really pull out the flashes. If he goes off the scope, that's exactly when he feels they peak.
That's huge.
Spam through coffins. Makes life a lot easier. Do they anticipate the second coffins player? Now they will. He's revealed his presence. OC scoping up. Doesn't feel like he can go around this corner. He's wary of it. Backing into the Orange's player. Neki is able to have that. And so OC now out of time. He'll tuck in to die to the bomb. Get rid of that op. Make sure they can't have it and find what damage he may.
Terrorists win. No one lives.
Will be no survivors. But there is a much-needed round win for Legacy as we ascend to the heavens.
Even the chickens could not survive that. He saw that plume of feathers. Yeah, I feel bad for the chicken. They didn't do anything wrong, honestly. They just wanted to live. And all these people started coming, shooting guns, blowing up bomb sites. Ugh.
They're just living their humble life in this Italian village.
For real.
Them and the fish.
Oh, yeah. Are the fish even there anymore? I think they got rid of the fish.
Anymore. Did they get rid of the fish?
Yeah, I think so. About it. I can't remember.
Maybe the fish are finally free. They've been set into the river to survive. Yeah. No, well, there's fish. There's fish. I'm so confident right now, that, and I could be wrong.
Okay. We'll see.
Hold on.
We'll get a look at it. I think the fish were from Go, though. I don't know if it carried through. You're waiting, Mike.
I don't know. I don't know. We need to see the fountain. Let's look into the fountain. Come on, look down.
Nope.
You're right. There's no fish.
Yep.
There's no more fish?
I told you.
How have I just now realized this? I've looked at that fountain so many times. Just never thought about the fish.
They've been freed, Mike.
Freed from this mortal coil, perhaps.
Yes. Man. Or the endless cycle of death.
Yeah.
And
It's
revival.
like something Hindu about it, you know,
Yeah.
freed from the cosmic. Maybe it's more Buddhist, actually, the cosmic chain of suffering.
Yeah.
The fish achieved enlightenment. And now they are free to ascend, but NRG look to ascend here and now. They made mistakes in the last. But as we've seen, the karmic cycle, they could join the fish. Oh, timing on that flashbang is great. Nitro gets completely caught. Now he's in big trouble. No one's close to the rotate. If he goes down, this is a save. This is a save indeed. Nothing can be done about it. Legacy. Get their feet under them. Get this bomb planted. Upgrades to the guns as well. And they're slowly chipping away at this lead.
The emphasis on slow, right? Because they went down to the 20-second mark before they went for the apps pop, and it was a good one, right? That flashbang was so effective. Nitro couldn't activate at all. His pit player is gone, eliminated, and after that he tries to hold the angle, but nothing happens. It just really nicely done from Legacy, honestly. 7th round going to come through. They cut the lead to 4, but the save will help NRG get a full buy in the next round as well. So let's see if they can reset and find the answer in the following round.
Terrorists win.
Legacy, yeah, like you mentioned, they got some upgrades for themselves as well. A couple of M4s picked up, and Mal will be able to get an AK or an M4 perhaps dropped in his direction.
There's a fair amount to work with in this round if
Yeah.
NRG want to invest.
They do. They should.
And they will indeed. No op, though. So that's the primary limitation. They'll keep some extra money on OC for the future, should this not work out for them. Smoke on for the bottom banana. That will not be respected. Look at this. Aggression from Legacy. Much more than we've seen so far. Lots of top mid utility. This is what happens once you start to get the nades. Get a lot friskier on that B fight.
Look at all the util they used, Mike, in the early fights. There's so little left,
Water
and
gone.
Nitro gets the opener.
That was just a peek out of the bedroom.
Yeah.
That was a peek out of the bedroom. Nitro decided to take matters into his own hands, get aggressive. Now Legacy are on the back foot early. They do have some top banana control in the hands of Dumal. But there's more required of them, and they are very spread. Sadzin's going back for utility and spawn, presumably?
I don't think so. There's nothing there.
I don't know what he was looking for, then. But now it seems like they want to mass and re-hit B. Let's see on the other side of this smoke. Throwing flashes for automatic to check. Realize that they're not here. Re-smoke goes up. Now OC is misreading this rotate, right? Having seen nothing on that re-clear, they think this is the fake. Instead, Legacy are setting up behind it, but still. Any choke point util? There's a nade on Hex. There's no Molotov. Automatic finds one. Hexed another. They're doing good work on this damage, and they are locking this down. One bit of health,
Wow.
a nade to chip that last piece away, and series point. Pro League point is on deck for NRG.
What felt like an impossibility after Anubis slipped away from them is back on the cards in such a big way. 5 rounds to close it out as Legacy need to win out regulation just for a chance at overtime. They are going to be kicking themselves here after getting that first map. A reverse sweep does not leave a good taste in their mouths at all. Well, Nitro's going to be tested here. Oh, wow. Going faster, Legacy. 134 on the clock, and they're already in towards lane.
First molly dumped. Looking for another. Could use some smokes. We'll go up on towards Moto. Might be a little late. There's a bit of gap in it, I think. The overwhelm on towards the site. Nitro dealt with. The flashbangs have been so very good. And Breeze just getting the one. Do they want to commit? Automatic already in. Already in for the battle, but he could be able to slip away. Now a decision needs to be made. It's a 2-on-3. It's still very viable. How much do you want to risk? How much skin do you want to put in this game right now for NRG? You've got more chances to close. They seem to be of two minds. OC's backing away, and yeah, now Automatic will join him. So these quick hitters, the flashbangs, the pace chains, it catches NRG without the numbers on site, catches them massively off guard as they tried to hedge that third towards B initially.
Yeah, no, that's honestly NRG doing a good job getting in the right positions, but Legacy are just better on the trades. That's the key to winning that round is they don't let any of those 2Ks come through. It's always one and done for NRG. They're going to chase a little bit on the tail end here, but it will be an 8th picked up by Legacy. And I just realized, Mike, one way to prevent saves from coming through here could be to get another path onto that A site, maybe from bracket, right? You could just have a path onto A so that the T's have something other to watch other than just, you know, being able to lock in on 2 angles and then having like 15 different places to hide. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I mean, that might even be accurate.
Perhaps. Perhaps. But John, the time for theory crafting is long since done.
Sorry, I'm just really...
It's the time to lock in right now. Another timeout used here from Legacy because right now, John, these rounds have massive importance. Legacy battling to keep themselves alive, to get to overtime, just to give themselves a chance at that Pro League spot. And we painted the stakes here for NRG plenty of times. Very little in terms of results. A Pro League spot would be a massive boon, a feather in their cap, and just one of these next 4 to close. They're dialed in, and let's see what they've dialed up. Legacy keeping numbers at the bottom of mid, but it seems like they want to try and threaten A once more. This time there's 3 here. Boiler control as well. They're going fast forward to do they clear the cubby. They do indeed. The snap back around for Dumao is enough. Nitro flying out into the fray. Such a huge risk, and Breeze caught in transition. Don't know what rumbled him out of the balcony, but he will pay the price. Once again, these B defenders are just left to sit back and watch as the A site crumbles, as the bomb will erupt, as Legacy will inch this ever closer to overtime.
This is crazy. I mean, wow. Honestly, Legacy are playing so differently here. I mean, the wheels are spinning in their minds.
They are.
They want to go for these fast plays, and it's working so well. NRG aren't ready.
I mean, and NRG seem to be making some blunders, right? You could tell.
Yeah.
It feels like they're trying to force the issue. Nitro flying into that fight. The Cubby player caught off. Breeze caught falling off of the balcony while flashed. It's a little awkward. Nothing catastrophic yet, though losing both these guns sure doesn't feel good. It's going to be in an eco in the next. It's going to be double digits likely secured for Legacy. What kind of money do you put behind this? Maybe some upgraded pistols? There shouldn't be anything more.
No, I'd say forget about pistols. Buy nades for everyone. Get nades out there and just nade down mid. Like, that would be an effective movement here, because Legacy have been charging up there so quickly that if you can get those nades out, you can do a ton of damage. Maybe get a couple of frags, but whatever.
They're not listening to you,
it's
John.
Not happening. Well,
they haven't got you in the timeout. They've got the Zeus, they've got the smoke, and they've got 1 set of armor on Hex with an upgraded pistol. You're going to go for the staff here over towards A. Give Automatic a smoke to try and stall this out. And dare them to come test the A setup again. Smoke deployed very, very early, though. That's all the stall utility is gone now. Automatic, having deployed his ruse, his literal smoke screen, will link up with his teammates on this mega stack. Here comes the peek. Oh, Sewers player down. 2 bodies dropped. Uh-oh. That was the bomb that needs to be retrieved. The peeks out from the pistols. All in unison. Hex now collects from the bedroom. Not like this. Unarmored pistols. Just the 157 for Hex. And it's a disaster on. Legacy are trying to bail out. Dumel wants to get out of there, get this bomb planted. And Barton, meanwhile, is on pistol patrol. Trying to whittle down these numbers, but it means he's totally isolated. He can't be traded. They can't play off of each other. Mao is correct that there is no one here in defense of B. But there's a Breeze in the back lines. On the back of his neck. Oh, and Bart just giving him an audio cue. Yeah, he did. Oh! The Zeus will connect, the gun retrieved, and it falls to Dumao. You got to plant now. But he's so wary that someone might be hiding in the back of sight. And meanwhile,
guns.
The infestation of pistols has grown, has evolved into rifles galore. 3 AKs. They just need to play together. There's no armor, so the chance of a massive spray down still exists. but it has to be Dumao to be the hero, to keep Legacy alive here, to pull them back into the lifeboat. It's Hext rotating from this angle. He'll be the one to spot. He'll be the one to find. That means the armor is now gone. But they can just get on the stick. Dumao gonna try for his lineup. Shot on. There it is. OC has done it. There is time enough. Just about barely. And NRG are headed to the ESL Pro League.
That's the round? Really? That's crazy.
That's the round off of pistols, and that's about it.
1150 invested by Hex. I'm pretty sure that was it, right? Just the 5.7 and the body armor that comes.
They had
through.
one smoke on automatic.
Oh, did they have a smoke?
Forget that.
Okay, another
Enough
300
to bottle
added.
them back and send Legacy back into the mid stack.
Unreal. I mean, and the peaks were brilliant. The shots were fantastic, but it's just USPs. And I mean, the one thing that was cursing NRG throughout the entire night is what is their salvation in the end. An eco on their side and an anti-eco that falls apart. I'd say even worse than anything we saw from NRG prior to this. Unbelievable stuff. They finally, like you said, get to Pro League. They make a LAN event, more importantly, and show that they are capable of succeeding at a high level. I mean, at least here in Challenger League. Let's see if it transitions to Pro League, and they still have a grand final rematch up against M80.
But there's more to do. This is an
Yes.
energy that's evolving. This is an energy that's dealt with one of their boogeymen, right? That have banished the threat
Yes.
of Legacy, who have stymied them, who have kept them out of so many different events, so many different qualifiers. Now they overcome them, perhaps at the most critical moment to secure that Pro League spot. That is massive. And it's an NRG team that we saw still make mistakes, still have issues, still make blunders, and not let that completely capsize the boat, right? They managed to right the wheel, to get back on track, and to still manage to sail this thing into harbor. And that's tremendous from NRG, because if you think about the year that they've had, there's so many reasons why they could have been down on themselves, why they could be despairing, and they're not doing it. They're still succeeding. They're still chipping away at this thing. And today, they break through.
I mean, we can look at our player to watch a little bit. Lato was incredible throughout all three maps. The fact that he had 100 ADR in that, like, only 3 rounds won on Ancient is insane in itself. And yes, I mean, these numbers might not impress that much, but he had a ridiculous season, a ridiculous playoffs. Dumao as well. All of Legacy deserves praise, but right now, the most praise belongs to NRG.
It does indeed. And here to talk to us is the guy who's got the most impressive stats. 3 of 3 interviews done. Hex coming through. That's the best stat of them all. You're in the ESL Pro League, Hex. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You do love to see it. Talking about that series, look, it feels like you guys are maybe in search of the home map, in search of the map pool, figuring out what it's going to be. Ancient has given you guys trouble for so long. Yesterday, you trounced the Party Astronauts on it. Today, you demolish Legacy with 13 rounds in a row. What's changed for you guys on Ancient?
I mean, honestly, I think we swapped the spots around. Like, we swapped Nick with me. And then I think, honestly, that after it took a little bit of an adjustment period, but after that, I mean, we kind of just started locking in. We really focused on, like, we didn't realize that macro wasn't our issue. It was really just the micro of everything that we were kind of fucking up. So we decided to just focus on that. And honestly, it's been a great help ever since.
Look, Inferno was getting a little bit dicey towards the end there. Were there concerns on your mind that it could lead to overtime, that things could slip away again?
Not, dude. If you heard the comms, it was absolute comedy. That shit was it was so funny. It was so funny. We were fine. I knew we were winning this round. I literally bought the 5.7 armor, and I was like, yeah, it's over.
Oh, really? Wow.
You love to hear that. Speaking about your role swap, right? Swapping you around with Nitro, changing up those positions. You're a guy who's been that tip of the spear for so long in so many different rosters. Here, you're playing a little bit more of the periphery. You're playing a little bit more of the lurks in times, in moments. How are you finding that role? How are you finding you adapt to that?
I mean, I think I played it a long time ago, but I was worse back then. So, you know, I was just kind of learning when I first got moved up to EG. But now that, like, I feel like even Tim said it, like, after every time I changed teams, I got better. Because I think I finally absorbed the information that I was getting. So now that, you know, I'm with experienced players again, and it's kind of nice to be like put back in that environment. So I think they're helping me learn more even now. Like you can never stop learning. So I still got things to improve on, but I'm finding the roles very nice.
You guys have the rematch with M80 coming up. Look, how are you feeling about that one? It's obviously going to be a bit of a challenge, but the one thing to celebrate, of course, is that Pro League spot. But you want that revenge, right?
Yeah, we want that revenge. I mean, for me, honestly, it was just about Pro League. Now it's just about the extra bans. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Pro League was the only thing I was looking for. Really, I'm down to catch a dub in the league, but they're good friends. So I mean, may the best team win.
I mean, hey, at this point, those bans matter a whole lot when we're talking about the Valve ranking points. Going into 2025, right now with Pro League on deck. This wraps up your ECL seasons, moving on into Pro League in that next year. Obviously, with the changes coming into the circuit as well, with how important ranking points are going to be, event qualifications, all those things. Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to with this roster, with this Pro League spot that you're looking to see continue to evolve and develop?
That's a crazy question.
Throw the big one at
I
you
mean,
before we let you
yeah,
go.
no, fine, man. That's fine. I'm through halfway through a Rockstar. I cranked that shit after second map. We're zooming right now, but yeah, I mean, it's nice. I mean, I'm really just looking forward to playing all these new events. I mean, especially with like Pro League, like this was actually massive. Because qualifying for stuff next year is going to be kind of hard. So we really needed these points for this tournament, and hopefully beating M80 tomorrow is important. I mean, honestly, with this roster, I feel like the sky's the limit. We just need to get comfortable in certain situations. Because, like, with today, like, I mean, even in playoffs, like, we've literally just been playing very well, like, every series, except for probably the second half of the M80 one. But obviously looking to change that tomorrow. But, yeah, honestly, I'm just very excited for the future.
Looking forward to seeing it, man. Still got one series tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing you in that as well. We'll let you go. Thanks for being such a trooper in these interviews as well as in the server, man.
Of course. Thank you very much.
Ripped on an energy drink, and now it's actually wait, he's West Coast. I don't know where he's living right now, but it might be a more acceptable time for young Hext. For us, the clock is about to strike 1 a.m. So, John, I think it's time to wrap up this show. I think it's time to let this one go. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. NRG are in the ESL Pro League. Congratulations onto them. A round of applause. And now tomorrow we find out who's going to be the best of the North American ESL Challenger League. Is it going to be M80? Is it going to be NRG? Only one way to find out, and that's to go to bed and wait for tomorrow. Good night, everybody.